everybody is zoned out, and Josh is like 17 guns into your options of what you might want to carry.
They are
He
pretty.
might be over exaggerating.
No, not even.
But
I have 16 guns.
I think I'm not like putting enough emphasis on it because I don't remember all the various calibers and various makes and models that you drop. But
welcome to Oil and Whiskey, an Ironclad original. I am Josh Henning.
I'm Phil Gerber.
I'm Jeremy Gerber.
Welcome to Oil and Whiskey, an Ironclad original, presented by Blade HQ. Go to bladehq.com/oil and whiskey to shop their selection of knives. Get you some pocket knives. Be a man. Get you a fucking blade.
Or two.
Cut some shit with it. Today's guest is Uschenko, who owns and operates Delmo Speed and Custom. We're also going to take some of your listener questions and some more. We got a new edition of listener questions this week. But first, it's time for On the Gas. In this segment, we want to take some time to shout out an individual, vendor, shop, or company that's got their foot on the gas, doing great work, and taking their projects and industry to the next level. We definitely have somebody that's on the gas and taking things to the next level this week.
We do.
Who do we have?
Going with Premier Street Rods out of Havasu, Arizona.
Lake Havasu, Arizona. Yeah, my neighbors.
Right down the road.
Yep.
Yeah, kind of two-part business. A lot like us, build some pretty cool high-end stuff on the car and truck side, and then building complete reproduction bodies for the 47 to 54, 67 to 72 C10s. Then just drop this Blazer that is a pretty awesome piece at a great time as all the Blazer and four-wheel drive stuff seems to be taking off.
Yeah, and they just got certified, I think, by GM too. So that's huge.
Yep.
Licensed, last week or something.
Yep.
They got the 55 to 59 Chevy trucks as well. They do the cabs for. But I think this Blazer deal, that's definitely going to be one that's going to change some things up.
Yeah, I have one of their 59 cabs, one of the first ones they made, and just drove down to Havasu from Prescott and picked it up. Had lunch with them, and great guys. Great shop.
Yeah, I've only met Ross a couple of times, but a couple of times he was very nice. Seems like he's got definitely got his foot on the gas. I mean, they're bringing bodies out left and right, and everything I hear about him is it's a good fit too. So
yeah, so I follow him. I see all the cool jig work. It's neat to see the process of those things going together. The Blazer's probably, it's got to be the easiest one for them. Easiest one for the builders too. You've only got two doors. Roof is pretty cut and dry there. So if you could bang those quarters on and line the doors up, get yourself a good start to your project.
It only takes 800 C-clamps.
Yeah.
Well, check them out at premierstreetrod.com or on the Instagram at premierstreetrod. Del Uschenko is the founder of Delmo Speed and Custom. Del is well known for his work with resto-mod classic trucks, specifically the 60s C-10 Chevy trucks. Check out Delmo Speed and Custom's website at delmospeed.com, or you can follow his shop on Instagram at Delmo Speed. Del Uschenko, welcome to Oil and Whiskey.
Thanks for having me, guys. Pleasure to be here as always, and I love coming out here. The weather's nice. It's kind of similar to Prescott. It's nice and cool.
For right now, yeah.
Yeah.
Another couple weeks before that turns.
Yeah, you guys get hammered, huh?
It just turned, man. Yesterday was summer. Now today it's like
fall.
Yeah,
It was
almost winter.
86 on Tuesday. Last night, driving home, it was 46.
Yeah.
40 degree swing.
It's dropping fast. Wasn't the first day of spring or fall like just a couple days ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be.
Something like that.
Damn, that's crazy. But like, how cold does it get here in the winter? Like
40 maybe.
Below.
Yeah, below. Right. It gets cold as shit. Honestly.
Like minus.
Yeah.
Like
we had minus 50 at the wind chill a couple of years ago.
3 days in
that
a
it
row,
was-
it was minus 50.
Yeah, they recommended not leaving the house.
Yeah.
Stay at home.
yeah, I've
But,
worked in that temperature when I lived in Canada. Yeah, on the oil rigs.
Damn.
Yep.
I refuse to do anything in the cold. My hands, I will scream like a little girl. I can't. Busting a knuckle in the cold.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Oh,
Oh, ratchet strap in the cold.
yeah.
God. Oh, God. That's the worst.
Oh,
man.
it's bad. And minus
Yeah.
50, like your nose sticks, like your eyelids freeze shut.
I
Everything.
do love running out there and taking that, and then running right back inside
Yeah.
after everything ices up.
As long as your nose doesn't freeze shut, because that
Yeah.
can happen.
But the good part about it is a lot like Arizona. So this is a wet cold, so you don't feel it as bad.
It's
It's a freezing wet cold.
It's a freezing, wet, miserable cold. Yeah.
Good times.
It's a
But
dry heat.
Hey, we get the change of the seasons.
It's 127. How dry could it be?
It's fucking hot. Is what it is. That's what it is.
Oh, so you get extremes too. You get the gnarly heat.
No, that was the Arizona shot.
Yeah.
That's everyone in
Oh,
Phoenix. Well, you're up in the mountains.
Yeah,
right?
I
You don't
don't
get
count.
that.
No, I don't get Phoenix.
Why is it Prescott instead of Prescott?
So interesting. I wouldn't say Prescott for years because I'm like, that's not how it's
Right. I don't like.
I'm not doing it.
That's how the locals do it.
I'm not doing it. And then I was talking to this old timer at the rodeo, and he's like, so in the 1800s, when people from out of state would come to buy property and stuff, they would go to the town hall, and a bunch of the locals got together and said, we need to figure out who's from here and who's not because we don't want to sell them land or whatever. So we're going to say, let's say Prescott. That way, if somebody goes in and goes, hey, I want this permit in whatever Prescott, they're like, okay, that guy's from out of town.
Okay.
It's like a secret handshake, basically.
Kind of like, yeah, exactly. And it's stuck. And a lot of people don't even know the story, but they just say it that way. And but once I heard the story, I thought that was kind of cool.
Now you got to be in the club.
So now I'm in the club. So now I say
That's
it. Yeah.
good. That's like out here, you've got Lombard, as I like to call it. It's fucking Lombard, right?
Yeah.
But the locals, it's Lombard.
Lombard.
Yeah.
the
Or
whole-
Mundaline.
But what's the whole Gurney thing? That's the thing that's confusing me. Even since
Well, how
it's-
else would you say? It's just
I say Gurney.
Gurney.
You don't have to. I don't. The pronunciation on the knee part. Like
Gurney?
it's just Gurney, like Dan
You-
Gurney, but not Gurney. I don't know.
You've obviously never had the Mills effect. It's
I haven't.
long story. We'll get
Yeah,
into it.
we're
guys.
tackling a
Yeah, we
lot
gotta-
of deep
yeah, we gotta
issues in
get
this
through
one.
This is some.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Prescott was actually a decent piece of advice.
It is. I'm sorry I couldn't have anything that riveting for you about Gurney.
I thought you were gonna be like, well, back in the day, you know.
Well, it might actually affect how your service is too if you say Prescott or Prescott.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Insider tip.
Yeah.
Locals only.
It is
You
beautiful.
just said it
out
on a
there.
podcast, so everybody's gonna be saying Prescott.
Yeah.
Prescott.
Is it also the roundabout capital of the world?
Yeah, I know you guys had to go through 100 of them coming to my place, but yeah, and they're putting more in. It bums me out.
Stoplight, and then you go.
Yeah.
It's-
It is beautiful out there, though, man. When we stop by your place, dude, that is just
Oh yeah.
absolutely
It is.
bitchin' out
It
there.
is gorgeous out there, and you know, it's the like we came from Burbank, so just a cluster. you
Not a
know.
lot of greenery and mountains and trees out in
Well,
Burbank.
lots of greenery, beautiful. Like Pasadena, there's areas that are gorgeous, but it's not worth it. You're going through traffic and fighting people, and people are rude, and so it's like it's so beautiful, but it's such a bummer to be there. So wide open spaces up there, clean air, the odd roundabout. But I drive an Audi wagon too, so the roundabouts are actually kind of fun now because I go outside, inside, outside, like as fast as I can hit them, and it's kind of fun. But
Got to apex it.
yeah. So.
Well, you mentioned being from Burbank. Tell everybody how you got your start. Where's your background? You from California? Not from California? You've had a little wild ride. So take us through it.
Yeah, cool. Born and raised in Alberta, Canada. So my dad was a big geared nut, still is. And I just remember being, standing underneath a 69 Ford four-wheel drive while he's changing out the gears on the diff, and I'm standing under the truck. And, that's kind of my first memory of wrenching with my dad. And then, so he got me into that. I, as I mentioned, worked oil rigs for a bunch of years as a young guy. I'm kind of.
You've got to be quite the badass to do that.
Yeah, I was 15 working on a drilling rig in northern Canada. So minus 40, 12-hour shifts, 30 days in, 30 days out. And, when you lift the slips on the floor of the rig, when the pipe comes down, you throw slips in this tapered hole and it grabs the pipe.
Yep.
And those are about 200 pounds. And you have to, every time you do a connection on the pipe, you have to pull those out and put them back in.
And do you do the cool thing where they whip the chain
With,
around?
yeah, the chain and the
Oh,
and the
dude,
tongs and the whole
look
deal.
like a
Is that's
badass.
like one of those things at 2:30, 3:30 in the morning when I have too much stress and anxiety to sleep that I'm fucking around on YouTube or
Yeah.
something. I bought a video of that comes
There
up.
was a show several
I'm
years
like,
ago.
damn.
It was
Yeah.
fucking cool as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rad. It's super dangerous, but I'll tell you, I like, when people come to me and say, that their kid is a slacker or, whatever, I say, dude, send them to Canada, put them on an oil rig for 6 months, and just, they will learn how to be a man. They'll learn strength and all the
Bunch of cool cuss words, I bet.
tons of cool cuss words. How to hit a sign with a beer bottle out the window, all that stuff. But yeah, you grow up fast doing that in Canada, and then started a car audio shop when I got a bit older, and then always built cars for myself in my garage. And then what happened? Started working for a hot rod shop in Canada. Worked there for a couple of years, and then ended up buying it. And that was like kind of the start of my Delmo's thing. And we got real popular. We won some awards in Canada that are kind of like the Riddler of Canada, I suppose, in my area.
Nice.
And then
That's sponsored by Tim Hortons.
yeah, yeah, basically, yeah. So then what happened? I met my wife. She's a nurse, so we that was a good opportunity to get out of Canada because nurses were like really needed down here. And of course, being a car guy, I knew that California was the mecca for that. So we just packed up our shit. We sold each of our houses. I sold the business. I kept a 61 Ford unibody. We had a hound dog and a couple pieces of furniture, and we hit the road with a U-Haul and a trailer and landed in Burbank.
How'd you hook up with Bobby and Old Crow and all that stuff back then?
Well, so the next day, we got a hotel. The next day, Ola, my wife, went to work at Cedars-Sinai in Beverly Hills. She drove the unibody, 3 in the tree, manual brakes, drove it over Barham Drive through Beverly Hills and went to work. And her first patient was Elizabeth Taylor. So that was a pretty cool story. And
Wow.
then so the next day, I took the U-Haul truck down to Troy Ladd's shop, and I started working at Hollywood Hot Rods. So, and Bobby Green was right next door. And Bobby and I became really good friends. And I worked for Troy for about a year, and then Bobby's like, why don't you just rent a spot over here? And that sounds like a good idea. So I just pushed my toolbox up to 60 feet over to his place. And
That's an easy move.
yeah. And then we started a great friendship, and that's when Delmo's kind of took off, and we just had tons of fun there in Burbank.
That was like just like the coolest hangout there with everybody. I've only been there a couple of times, and when you were there and the Old Crow Speed Shop and all the cool shit hanging in there, and then Troy right there on the corner, it was just like coming from down south, going out there, it's like, this is what they do every day. Yeah. This is just like, they just hot rod like all the time.
Go to In-N-Out Burger every day. Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking cool.
Yeah. Palm Avenue was a really like a tourist trap. Like there was Dave Martinez was right across the street from us doing upholstery, Troy Ladd, of course, me, and then Bobby Green. So you would have, legitimate magazine, traditional 32s all down the street. Then you'd have a bunch of Slam C-10s. You'd have a bunch of cool customs getting interior from Dave. And of course, all Troy's high-end stuff was there. And it was a really cool street to be on for 6 years or something. We did that. It was really cool.
I bet you that first day, like you said, you loaded everybody up, like Beverly Hillbillies, and headed to California. And the first day she's, her patient's Elizabeth Taylor.
Yeah.
You're like, this is just
it is all true.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was that fast. Like our dreams came true within the first week of us being there. It was really surreal. It was really, really cool.
The American dream.
That's wild.
Yeah, it really is. And we're still chasing it, of course, but we're just having fun and trying to find our way.
So where did it get to the point you're like, this California deal, this thing's been fun, but
yeah,
catch you later.
Yeah, it was probably 6 years in, I guess. We were just like struggling to make money because rent was so high, shop rent was really high, and the traffic was beating us up. And although we'd met tons of cool people, I had a lot of celebrity clients. But then we started looking at what other people are paying in different states. And we're just like, we got to get out of here, So we looked at Colorado. Colorado still had maybe too harsh of winters. And we looked at Texas.
Figured everybody already went to Texas. That was like the cool thing to do already.
Yeah, Austin at the time hadn't blown up, and it was still pretty affordable. But I could tell the infrastructure, the traffic was already bad. And
they didn't have roundabouts.
Yeah, they didn't have roundabouts. Get those. And but the humidity and the bugs, I was just like, man, I don't know if I could survive here. Coming from Canada, I can like live outside in a t-shirt. So, and then Phoenix, no way. Although I have a lot of friends in Phoenix, Dino and Sam and Yezi and all those guys,
Sure.
but I can't do the 120 degrees. So they're like, if we can't have you, go up to Prescott and spend the weekend. We're like, where's that? So we drove up there, got a hotel in one of the old vintage hotels, and we were sold. We were done. That was it. So it was once we were there and experienced it, it was an easy move. So
It is a cool spot, that's for sure.
yeah, it's neat. Lots of dirt biking, lots of hiking and mountain biking, shooting, like anything you want to do, you just go at your back door and do it. So
We've got a very similar kind of atmosphere here, except it's all on YouTube and you can watch it all.
you subscribe to all that.
Uh,
That's awesome.
so what was the first build that was like really putting you on the map?
Gosh, well, I mean, there's two different worlds. In Canada, I built a Hemi Model A chopped traditional kind of car that kind of got pretty popular up there. And what made me actually popular up there was something I didn't even really build. It was a 62 Impala that I just put on hydraulics and left factory hubcaps and just super clean. And it caught the eye of Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top. So he and I became good friends, and he ended up buying it, and I dropped it off at Brizio's shop. And of course, in Canada, it's as big as it is, it's fairly small. So the news of that at the time spread and kind of made me faux famous, I guess, in the car world, because now I have this connection with the legendary Billy Gibbons, right? Which was really super cool.
Pretty badass.
Yeah, and so that 62 Impala was pretty pivotal in my career, I suppose. And then moving to the U.S., I built a 65 C-10, a patinaed one, and that was before Instagram, so it was the forums. And
What year was that?
it was 09, 2010, 09, something like that. Craigslist special, 65 patina short bed, paid $2,500 for it, which is $25,000 now. Took it home, did a porter built front and rear kit, powder coated it, blew the diff apart, did the bearings, and everything was on the forum. So I was like, and I actually split the rails. I was like one of the first people to powder coat the rails separate from each other. And people freaked out. Even Dino, the world famous Dino, said to me, he said, that thing's never going back together. So then I posted a picture the next week, and it was a rolling chassis. But I brought that high-end hot rod builds into the C10 world, and then the patina thing, and then I was the first one to put a hubcap on a solid wheel. Like took a center line and scribed out a circle and drilled 5 holes and clipped a hubcap on it, and then I remember taking a picture of it with a fender in front of it. I just posted it on the forums and went crazy. So then all of a sudden I was building 5 sets of wheels a week, drilling and tapping holes. So
Sounds easy until you got to find like the center. That's important when you're tapping those. It's not.
yeah, it's tricky for sure. But I had a little system. So, but I'd say that truck was probably it. Yeah, I don't know where it is now. I think it's in Washington or something. But yeah, it was probably. And then Sam Castronova bought it off me for nothing, and it was like probably the last truck that was ever cheap. So.
What forums was that?
6772 Chev truck forum, and it was pretty awesome. I mean, there was thousands of people on there. Yeah.
All of the forum stuff was just a different experience than Instagram is now.
It was more like talking back and forth and making relationships and
right.
in-depth, back and forth, not just thumbs up, fire emoji, 2 fire emojis, hot.
And it wasn't, I guess, the volume of things like on Instagram now, you're just bombarded with picture after picture of stuff you either follow or don't follow, or you might be interested in all that. And if somebody hasn't updated their profile, you might not even know that they haven't updated it. But on a build thread, you're checking every day, or, recent stuff. And then the first thing in the morning, you're like, all right, what's the most recent one? Or they haven't posted anything. Or then somebody like you or somebody who's building something drops a shit ton of pictures, over the weekend. You're like, oh, and you're looking through every little detail, the step by step, and it's chronological. I mean, there was just so much
I feel like
knowledge and
I feel like the forums were like the drama was way different than Instagram. You could just delete it, right? Or nobody really fucks around on there. But the forums, it was like
Well, especially on like
they're
Yellow
like
Bullet.
full blown fights
Yeah.
on there.
It was Yellow Bullet and back in the day that was like the drag race guys and street
Oh,
race
yeah.
stuff. That it was like fuck you, no fuck you. Like them just back and forth, back and forth. That was a
The
different-
boat ones still to this day are that way.
Really?
Yeah,
there's some
if you get
egos in the powerboat
If you get on
world.
the powerboat stuff, dude, it's the same 65-year-old dudes.
And they don't even have Instagram. They're just on the forums.
Fighting. They don't even know what Instagram or YouTube
What's my
is.
photo bucket password?
Yeah, you can thank Photo Bucket for killing all the forums. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
Mhm.
Played a large role. I still get emails that your photos will be deleted if you don't buy the whatever package. It's been like 4 years of that.
That's got to be the dumbest fucking decision ever.
Yeah, unreal.
I mean,
Hope somebody got
overnight,
fired over that.
overnight forums were just like dead.
Yeah, peace.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even Instagram's pissing me off. It's like, you know, the algorithm. I've talked to a bunch of people about this. Like, you know, used to, you know, based on how many followers you have, and I don't give a shit about any of this stuff, but, you know, you would get a certain percentage of likes typically on a decent post, you know, and mine are like, I don't know, down like 70% or something like that. And then so I'm like, what did I do wrong? Did I like the wrong photo or did I follow the wrong person? And so, but I've talked to a lot of people in the industry and they're experiencing the same thing, you know, and it's just like if the algorithm hates you, then you're out for a little bit. Or if you don't buy reel, or if you don't maybe buy the paid stuff or do as many reels as they want you to do. I don't know how it works.
I don't think anybody
Yeah,
really
it's
knows.
It's like government
Yeah.
contracts, algorithms and government contracts.
Yeah.
And managed IT and
Yeah.
logistics. Those are all things that are
Logistics.
Maybe that's all it's inside of an automatic transmission.
It could be. That's good.
Lots of logistics.
How did you transition from all the slam stuff? What was the vision? I mean, this might be jumping ahead, but I'm sitting here looking at your flyers here, which honestly, in my opinion, are quite possibly the coolest piece of marketing that I've ever seen in my life. I love those things.
Thank you.
Yeah, that sucked the wind out of half our shop when
Yeah.
you mailed those to us. I'm like, dude, check this out. Like, fuck.
That's the way to do it. That's
Get
how you
out
do
of
it.
here.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
I owe all that to Eric Black. He's a good friend of mine and an amazing designer.
Did Chris Marzik work on this too?
He did.
Mason?
Yeah. Yeah. He's
I think you could
incredible
sell
talent.
those as books and probably make significantly more money than you could building the trucks.
Yeah. It's funny because that was kind of the idea too. Like that's just a lookbook, but our full size, I guess, books that you get with each model is going to be an old kind of version of a manual that you would get, but for every particular model. So imagine every image would be hand drawn, with a hand drawn lady, helping her kid out of the truck or whatever. And that was kind of the idea in the future for each model to have their own book.
Yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful artwork.
Yeah, isn't it great? It's kind of the style. It's the style I was going for too. And Eric and I, we are on the same page. So
We're
to
going to
speak.
scan these tomorrow and just make them available on our website.
Yeah, I'll just send you the images. I'll just send you the images.
Eric would love it.
Yeah.
Walk us through the thought process on that. I mean, you're building slam trucks that are, not over the top from a price point
Right.
standpoint. I mean, relatively affordable. This stuff's obviously a huge step up. What's the thought process in changing directions or, going down that route?
Yeah, so many different things. I guess number one, working on bag trucks is a huge pain in the ass. Running lines, exhaust, drive line angles. There's just no space. It's like it becomes difficult for how much you can charge. I think the Slam C10 market commands maybe 150 at the top for a bag truck. I know there's guys getting more. There's big shops that are charging a lot of money. But for me, it seems like for my style, because I'm not over the top, I don't have dancing beds or fish tanks in it or whatever. Mine are, fairly mellow, but
Fish tanks would be cool.
yeah,
Shark Tank.
I just never had the budget. But, so at that price, when you add up all the parts in the paint and the interior, there's not a whole lot left, not a lot of meat on the bone for how long it takes.
Sure.
So it's like, gosh, we got to do something different. And Icon, Jonathan, I mean, I seen his business model and I was like, that guy knows exactly what he's doing. And I, of course, never wanted to be that big. I couldn't handle that kind of stress. But my hats off to him for doing it.
He does a good job with it. We had him on the podcast that just aired, and he's
Yeah.
seems pretty calm, cool, and collected for the.
Yeah, and he's
The
into other
volume of what he
things.
does,
And
you
he's
know?
into other things, which means he has his, finger on the trigger, which
Yeah.
is great. I just can't. I don't think I'd be able to be good in that situation. 60 employees and 100,000 square feet or whatever it is. It's not me. I wanted to keep it small. So I was like,
Sure.
okay, how can we provide a product that's super high end and, has a good budget? Well, I always think of things that are hard to get, like Jesse James's stuff, or like somebody that's creating something that demands a high price because it is hard to get. And I didn't want waiting lists, but I wanted to just build a certain amount a year and offer those for sale. And then I thought, well, 4-wheel drives, because Jonathan's, doing good with his, and Broncos were kind of coming up. And I was like, I seen a window in the market for classic pickups.
Sure.
And Eric Black really pushed me into it. He's like, we could do a line of trucks branded with your name on it and make them better than everybody else's. Maybe cleaner, just like a little more subtle, I suppose, in our style. So, which is, I really appreciate all the other styles, beadlocks and things like that. But our style is more like, it looks like a factory truck.
You appreciate a Carolina squat.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. YouTube.
There you go.
Yeah.
I don't appreciate it. I think
That's Josh's truck. He's got a 3-inch lift in the front and lowering springs in the back.
Yeah, you know me.
On order.
Aren't they going the other way now though?
Yeah, now they got the.
Now they're raking
They're
them?
calling it something else. I don't
Yeah,
know where the.
yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
they're going the other direction.
Mm-hmm.
Dumb kids, and then they're doing some stupid shit.
Josh takes I feel like he takes a hard stance in this because he knows that like the correlation of Florida Georgia line to driving that type of vehicle, he knows it's coming. So if he comes out of the gate hard
Yeah.
with a hard, like fuck, those things suck.
I'm gonna tell you something. We can joke about a lot of shit.
I'm-
No, we don't. That fucking Florida Georgia line shit's got to fucking stop. All right,
It's
'Cause they
barely even gotten
suck.
started.
they suck so fucking bad, and that I'm getting the text. It's gonna be the Miata thing, and I'm not gonna fucking allow it.
Hey, let's just not mention Nickelback right now, okay?
I'd listen to Nickelback over.
So that Florida Georgia line guy reached out to me
Nickelback's not that
on
bad,
Instagram, and he was real interested in one.
Wait, the actual
Yeah,
so
yeah, the lead singer.
Josh.
Dude.
Oh, you have his email?
What's his name?
Yeah, what's his name?
Yeah, what's that dude's
I
name?
don't know any of them. I don't even know how many people are in the fucking band. There's 2 of them.
So yeah, he wanted one, and then I shot him a price, and he offered. He said, what if I do a bunch of promo for you and stuff? And I'm like,
What if you got a lot better at singing?
Yeah,
It's
no.
not gonna fucking happen.
yeah, no.
Yeah. That's a great way to launch that like hardcore manly like
Yeah, the Florida
vintage
Georgia line
truck, yeah.
version.
nothing better than that.
You should have told him he didn't have enough fucking money. It ain't gonna fucking happen.
Yeah, what was that Jesse story where he like told Sylvester Stallone he wouldn't build him a bike because he wanted it yellow or something like that?
I think I heard
He
something
did
about that.
say he did. Was it Stallone?
Yeah, I think it was Stallone. Yeah, and he's just like, nope.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, if Stallone called here and wanted a yellow car, I'd paint it any fucking color he wants to build a car for Stallone.
Yeah, I think things have changed a lot, but I mean, Jesse has that attitude and that that thing, which is great. I remember flying to California one year and just checking out the sites, and I went to West Coast Shoppers, and I seen a poster on his wall. It said, "Cash up front and fuck you" or something. And I was just like, being a naive Canadian, I was like, well, that's a pretty shitty thing to say, to your customer. And then years later, I'm like, oh,
Makes
Yeah, I
sense.
see what-
I
yeah.
get it.
Yeah, he's 100% right.
Yeah, he's like-
yeah.
Yeah, pretty funny.
Yeah, he was just ahead of the curve with that.
How many of these trucks you got going on right now? These.
We've got
about
five on the block, and then I stopped taking orders, just because I didn't want, like I said, I didn't want a waiting list, and obviously parts are hard to get, so I figured I'd maybe get ahead of the game a little bit on that, and then sell another 5. Hopefully, my plan is to be able to just build them on spec and then sell them, offer them for sale somewhere, either online or maybe go to Barrett and just offer the 5. Be like, this is the only place you can buy them. This is one time of the year that you can get them, and here they are. Maybe not run them through the block, but just have an offering.
Sure.
so to speak. So that takes some pressure off of us. I don't know if we'll ever get there because we might just keep getting orders. But ultimately, it'd be great because then I could build what I want, and then I'm just confident that they would sell. So that's kind of our business.
When's
model.
the first one going to be done?
We pick it up from paint next week, so it's way behind schedule. There were some family problems with the painter, so I think it'll roll out in spring, and then probably a couple months after each one will roll out after that. So it took a while to get going. Machining our own wheels, things like that takes some time. Supply chain issues, but we're getting there. So yeah, trying to keep the stress low. Our customers are awesome. They're not on us, and giving me the freedom of artistic freedom, and they trust my vision and colors and things like that. So
It's awesome.
I
yeah,
think you've always had an awesome eye for the style and design. You've done a lot of unique stuff on these trucks. I don't know if you want to touch on any of that or keep that as the secret
No,
sauce for the time being.
it's like we're not trying to reinvent the wheel. We're just trying to make some stuff maybe work better. That's really about it. We're trying to like just do what we can out of billet and change it and tweak it. Like, take the door handles closer to the door or tuck this and tuck that, but in a simple way. We can't spend 10,000 hours on metal work. These trucks are expensive, but they still have to be, built in a certain amount of time. So, and we don't want to spend a whole bunch of time on them. So they're a mid-length wheelbase. So you guys know that.
Yep.
That really helps with the proportions of the truck. I would say that's probably the biggest change.
They got it. So when you first threw that out there, the three of us were like, what the fuck is he talking about? Mid-length bed? And then we started, playing with it in SolidWorks and look at the wheelbase.
Yeah.
And then seeing all the renderings and like, yeah, it kind of looks like how they should have been built.
Yeah. It's incredibly a huge deal when I see long beds and short beds. They're equally as goofy looking to me. The longs are too long, the shorts are just way too short. So I'm super happy we decided to go this way. Although it's a ton extra work, it's makes it all the difference. So fuel injection, side steps, backup cameras, standard. But trying to keep skinny wheels, that real traditional look. So
What power plants you doing in these?
LS's for now. The Coyote, or not the what's that 7.3 Ford just came out with? The Godzilla. We're gonna toy with that with the Fords. Until then, we're just dressing LS's to look like whatever it is.
It's a smart move.
It is. It's a universal engine as far as I'm concerned, and
It's just an engine.
it's just
Freaking
aluminum
That
engine.
works and fits in everything.
It's basically like what back in the day it was the Briggs and Stratton 5 horsepower, but
That's
now it's just that. I mean, you still call it a Briggs and Stratton.
Yeah, but you
regardless
sure
what
as
it
hell wouldn't be caught dead with a Tecumseh. So there's some merit in the name.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, so we're sticking with that, and I know you guys have experience with pretty much every engine you can get, and LSs are readily available. You can make them look nice, and it breaks my heart to see super nice vehicles and then they just plop a plastic intake and leave the coils exposed, and it's just like we want to go a little extra further with our trucks. So hopefully it works out.
And you were pretty early in the game of dressing up the LS, right? You're probably one of the first guys.
I would say
dialing that up to look like a small block.
I would say so. I think it was 2014 or 15. I built the adapter to go 4-bolt, carburetor, 5150 or whatever that is. I don't know. To LS3 throttle body. And
I remember seeing it the very first time, the picture you posted, like the first prototype. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's never gonna fucking work.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know
This
either.
guy's fucking crazy.
I didn't know either. And then we dynoed it, and I was like, holy shit, it works.
It's funny how that, because now it's
now
just
it's
like
commonplace.
Yeah, you just stick
This top mount throttle
You can
body.
Stick the
throw the
throttle
throttle body
body
where-
wherever you want it. Put it in the trunk. Just
Yeah. I was worried because the runners are short.
Yeah.
And we played around a little bit looking at the numbers, because if you mount the throttle body one way and the flap opens up, how much air is going to go to one side versus the other. And
Yeah,
turning it.
bisect it front and rear. Yeah.
Yeah, and it really didn't make a difference. It was so I was super happy that it worked. And
Again, like the LS is a Briggs and Stratton 5 horse. You can do straight pipe on it. You can put a muffler on it. You can mount the carburetor, whatever.
It all works.
It just runs.
It's a pump. It's just an air pump, right?
Yeah.
You just move the air. So
What else do you offer for the LS dress up wise? And you guys like the valve cover adapters?
Yeah, valve cover adapter is pretty standard. Cadillac, Ford, Chevy, of course, and then coil adapters and all the different throttle body adapters, plug wires, like a vintage braided kind of plug wire. Just basic standard stuff. As soon as I started developing that, the big companies came in and just did it anyways, and I was kind of left in the dust because I'm in my garage as always. But it's cool. I mean, I love seeing my ideas kind of go somewhere. And the same thing goes with my style. If I build a wheel with a hubcap on it, and then some of the bigger companies start building them like that, I was like, I feel good about it.
At the end of the day,
I shouldn't,
Didn't know
but
which
I
way
do.
you're going there, but
I do.
At the end of the day, it's unfortunately the way it is.
It is.
And there's nothing you can do about it. I do appreciate the fact that you've never been like those guys that get on Instagram.
I have like an outburst over it.
This big company just treading over the little guy. This is something I had back in 2012. Here's a snapshot of when I was doing it. But
those who know,
exactly.
I remember you coming out with that stuff. Honestly, before we even thought it was cool. It was like,
Yep.
And then you see it, and when everybody a lot of people were just late to the party there, and then it was like, that Delmo dude's got that stuff.
It took our side on the pro touring side a while to get to where they wanted it to look like what they were tossing out.
Yeah,
You wanted that super modern. I want to go everything just is modern and pro touring race car with a slanted R.
If you were gonna move get rid of the coil packs off the valve covers, you're gonna just move them closer to the intake.
Right.
Line them up so you can see
more.
I want if you can get 8mm wires, I want like 14mm wires.
Or bright orange coils.
Yeah, I would say get the MSD coils because they're red.
I mean, 10, 12 years ago, you never would have thought when you pulled that original motor out to look over and be like, all right, we're going to keep the distributor cap. Let's keep that air cleaner. You're not going to replicate that. Oh, those fucking valve covers are sweet. Let's keep those. Back then, it was like
scrapyard
shit out. We needed carbon fiber or K-Tech valve cover, whatever it was. But the truck guys was a different kind of thing. The truck guys are still, I don't know if it had to do with budget or the style or there was something cool about at that point, and it still is in the truck world, kind of looking like you didn't have anything.
Right.
Yep. And it was on like a Camaro or a Mustang or guys spending big money. They wanted it to look like you got something.
Money. Yeah. Right. You literally want to leave the price tag on your intake.
Right.
Manifold.
Exactly.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I think, hopefully I had some impressions on people on the forums and maybe that translated to the newer generation, but I don't know if I went to a truck show now, if anyone would even know who I was, but it's, the restraint thing. And I know you guys have it as much as your customers probably want you to bell and whistle it out. It boils down to restraint for me, at least. And I think that's part of the reason I developed those products is because I wanted everything super, super clean. And original, but you can only do what you can do. And at the same time, I appreciate all the fancy, cool shit too, so I just got my own style.
Yeah. That's all stuff that just helps the industry, and having that attitude about it's great because sure, there's been big companies that have come out with stuff, but ultimately, it's helped the industry. You kind of paved the way, whether people know it or don't know it. It's great for everybody that we can all now have access to those because there's half a dozen other companies producing the stuff. And if you want the real deal stuff, go to the OG valve cover.
The OG, yeah, for sure. At least they're American made, right?
Yeah.
But
by a Canadian.
Yeah, by a Canadian. Yeah, I don't get any of the profits. Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah. So, but good times.
You got a old crew cab Ford on your Instagram. The
F600.
Yeah, the F600.
Mm-hmm.
What's the plan with that thing?
I don't have a plan. I know that the bump sides are kind of blowing up. Crew cabs, of course, are impossible to find, and I was lucky enough to snag that one. And then a week later, I'm cruising through the desert, and I pull into this old lady's yard that has a stash of cars. And I'm just, hey, can I look around? Yeah. So we go around the back of her trailer. And she has and I'll show you a picture of it later, 71 camper special crew cab with a camper on it. Crew cab short bed, boy. Hasn't moved in 30 years. And
Can you pull that? That's on your Instagram?
no,
Oh,
no, I wouldn't dare.
Oh.
Um,
Don't want to answer the phone calls.
And she's like, well, it's kind of sentimental, and I'm not ready to sell it yet. And I've been offered $10,000 for it, and I'm like, okay. So I'm gonna go out there with some money and a peach pie next week and see what I can do. But they're just so hard to get. But that'd be a good roadster shop truck for sure.
There's just
I don't believe I've ever seen one of those.
it's that thing could be fucking cool. Obviously, big budget, but
We could, in the meantime, park it next to the cab over we got outside.
Yeah.
Well,
they're kinda
looking
wide
at
bodied,
the cab
right?
over though.
Yeah,
every
they're
day.
kinda wide
It's
bodied.
cool showing up to work and seeing it sitting there.
something
Pretty big bulge fenders on there, right?
Yeah.
do something to kind of like a an alpha Hummer kind of build that's a little bit do anything, ready for
So-
the apocalypse kind of.
Hummer style, you're thinking like metallic yellow with chrome trim around all the door handles.
Florida Georgia line sticker.
Yeah, faux bead locks, just chrome everything.
Just wakeboard clamp on speakers, fucking everywhere.
Hummer, that'd be H1.
Some back off mud flaps.
Yeah.
Like some little Oshkosh Unimog, like make it where
Totally.
that thing would be.
Well,
cool.
the Overland guys now are going crazy, right? Like Earth Roamer, that'd be a perfect like a vintage Earth Roamer.
Yeah.
So
How
big
big
box
in
on the back.
Overlander stuff are you?
I'm getting there because we're Eric Black is coming out with Trailer Cap, his vintage camper shells, and then he's been working with Go Fast campers. So a lot of our renderings have a Go Fast camper on top of one of his vintage camper shells. So
What's the percentage of that group, right? 'Cause that's I'm completely on the outside. I think we all are. How many of those guys say, these are all the cool things I have if I wanted to go camping? And then the other guys that I go camping.
so how many people are real and
Yeah. There's a lot of shiny ramps and gas tanks and tents and
You know,
stuff
I was
like
going to
that
ask
that have never
how
been
often have
used.
those
feel
those
like-
ramps with the axis
I
come
feel
off
like
the
you're-
side of the truck?
Like you're getting jaded because of what you see at SEMA, right? Because you have these SEMA
Well, yeah, but
vehicles.
it's all
I
over
think you'd be
Instagram.
surprised. I've got a friend out in Colorado.
Yeah.
A couple buddies that I grew up with, and they're huge into that.
Really?
Mm.
Yeah, I mean,
I-
people
I think it would be fucking
people
awesome to
legitimately,
do.
like, yeah, it's
I
like
would have fun doing it. I'm talking about the vehicles themselves. Like you see so many pristine, like
All crawlers.
So I had the same question in Flagstaff, which is an hour and a half north of Prescott. There's a massive Overland show, and we went, and the parking lot is full of dirty Toyotas with camper shells on them. Like it's insane how big that scene is. I think the more money you spend, the more garage queens you see. But I did talk to a few guys who were like from Silicon Valley who actually bought $1 million Earth Roamer and they sold their house, and him and his wife are cruising across the country in their Earth Roamer, and it's just the coolest thing. I mean, percentage wise, I don't know, but I know it's a real deal, and it's super cool.
well, with everything, it doesn't matter what genre you're in. You got guys that are doing it for the look, and you've got
Yes.
guys that are doing it for the thing. But that the overlanding is so broad too.
Yeah. Oh, there's some super squeaky clean ones with Armor All tires too in
Yeah.
the parking lot. So
And that's with everything.
I kind of look at them and I think of, like those are they were kids whose parents wouldn't let them build a fort. You know?
And they
Yeah.
built a
Yeah.
fort on their
So-
truck.
yeah. So now it's like, yeah, fuck you, mom.
yeah,
Yeah, I'll do what I want.
I think it.
Interesting.
they got their Playboy magazines
Yeah.
in there.
I'm super intrigued by it, and I dig into it more than I probably should because I'm intrigued by the solutions
Mhm.
of like because the mentality is like I want to have everything. If the world stopped tomorrow, I could survive forever.
Yeah.
You know, and seeing where they okay, we got fuel storage here, we got water storage here, and I'm doing this, and you've all not an unlimited amount of space,
Right.
So the creativity, and then the aftermarket too. I mean, there's some. Like I sent you some of those coolers and refrigerators and generators and all that stuff. The things that
Cool
they're
stuff.
doing is
Oh, the
there's some
engineering is
really cool
unbelievable.
shit.
You guys would geek out because like, their generator will roll out and then this will swing out and it'll just like transformer pop, 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 but especially on the bigger units, like that truck, we should actually talk about building a big chassis for that. Like a 1 ton or bigger, that you could put a giant camper on it. like a standalone camper.
I
know,
think
like,
it'd be fucking awesome to go out and do. I mean, I think,
I
about
think
it all
you're
the time.
using it as an excuse to like come up with new categories of guns that you need to buy. This is like my overlanding
Yeah.
gun. This is like
I
the
could see that
Yeah.
for sure.
I was thinking about it. I mean, because that's the only reason.
everything he fucking does is a reason to buy a gun. This is like a great bag
Oh,
gun. This is a backpack gun. This is a satchel gun.
Last-
This is a fanny pack
Dude, this
gun.
is a Saturday gun. This is a
what,
Saturday gun.
last-
what are the laws here for that? Is it pretty
Everything-
relaxed?
Everything but NFA items.
Last night we're going to the Kevin Hart show, right? So Josh is in the back, and two of the girls are like, I'd like to, because I brought a gun with. I got a concealed carry, not to carry into the concert, but you're going to the inner
Always
city
prepared.
of Chicago.
Yep.
You never know.
Yeah.
So a couple of the girls say something about, I'd like to carry. Then fucking Josh goes off. I'm going to be honest with you. I just completely blocked you out. I shut you off because it's like. Yeah, I mean, shit, you get like a mini revolver, you go like 45. I mean, I'll probably go 38. Like, you go 38, you front carry that, or you like, now fanny packs are coming in. Now, you tuck that in your purse, and the girl,
You hold
everybody's
that shit
zoned
sideways.
out. Everybody is zoned out. And Josh is like 17 guns into your options of what you might want to carry.
They are
He
pretty.
might be over exaggerating.
No, not even.
But
I have 16
I think
guns.
I'm not like putting enough emphasis on it because I don't remember all the various calibers and various makes and models that you drop, but it was at least a dozen different offerings.
well,
offering
he's
my help.
passionate.
Which is fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
no, I
passionate
mean,
about it.
there's
My
nothing
help.
wrong with that. I'm just, Josh knows his shit.
my
with
thing
that
on the
stuff.
overlanding, I'm picturing is like a group of us going out in the wilderness, shoot guns all day long.
Mm-hmm.
Sun goes down, get blackout fucking drunk and or high, pass out, repeat. Like
We-
that's
We get on the 3-wheelers though before we black
ooh.
out.
we're
Oh,
dead.
yeah.
We're dead.
Definitely do that before you do any mind altering substances because a three-wheeler in itself is sketchy.
Three-wheeler-
That's sketchy
three-wheeler
enough.
sober, you got a 50-50 chance
Yeah.
of surviving.
And no suspension, the big reds, the ones with like the big
Uh-huh.
balloon tires.
Dude, I've got a rad ATC 70 that I
Do ya?
totally redid with a
No
big bore
suspension.
kit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it hasn't bit me yet, but me and Phil grew up with a Trizinger 50,
Oh, okay.
and that thing would just eat the
Yeah, just
Achilles
shit
tendons
you
off
off the
of
back.
every one of my
Suck your
friends.
wheel-
Yeah,
suck your leg in?
under it. Yeah.
Made a man out of us, though. I
Yeah, it
mean,
did.
we're still here to talk about it.
I love those
The-
things, man.
The bounce those things would get.
Yeah, you don't know which way it's going.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
the big red was a prime because
Big red.
all the suspension was in the tires.
tires.
These
Yeah.
giant
And you
pneumatic
always, the second turn, you think you've got it. So the third time you come back around, you're like, oh yeah, I'm fixing to get this. And that's when
tires.
it's,
That's when it bites you.
that's when it bites you. That's the worst.
And the worst thing you could ever do too is stick that leg out too.
Oh,
Like just
okay.
let it. If it's going over, the best thing
You
to do
think
is
you're
just
gonna
roll
catch it?
because you
Yeah,
stick the
That's
leg
a
out. It just
broken femur.
Yeah.
I'm
Pogo
surprised they
sticks
didn't
you.
have an ejection button, just fucking.
Fire you off the back.
Yeah.
You got to go on YouTube and look up some like in the mid or late '80s. There's a bunch of like stuff in the news about how dangerous they were trying to like outlaw three-wheelers.
Well, they
And it-
did, I think.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
it's hilarious to look at the footage of like the news anchors covering this stuff.
Well, just think about Honda when they're like, what engineer thought it was a good fucking idea in the beginning?
Yeah, why not just add the other?
So we've got a dirt bike, and then you're like, you know what we could do?
We could put.
We'll put 2
Three
wheels on the
wheels.
back.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Well, what do you do about when it turns?
Fuck it.
Oh, shut up, Sean. You put your stupid fucking ideas in the back. We're engineering this thing. It's the fucking dumbest idea ever. When has a 3-wheel anything ever worked?
the Can-Am, the new Can-Ams.
Yeah, your slingshot.
Right, your slingshot's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's two on the, it's two
No.
on the front.
No, he doesn't. Okay.
Dude, I'm telling you, get out in this slingshot.
Dude, You can
You don't.
sync the LED lights to the stereo. So when you're rolling, Florida Georgia Line's pumping and Josh
That
is
shit's just
cruising,
boom.
and it's It's
405 on the back.
you and your lady out on a 7 o'clock on the weekend at night. The sun's just going down.
But real talk, what is the most?
I do not have a fucking Spider or whatever those things are called.
What vehicle did you drive that you thought was the most exhilarating you've ever been on?
Oh, the scariest and fastest the ride of my life was on a
57 Chevy.
57 Chevy trike, right?
Oh no.
With an LS3.
Like an Arlen Ness deal or something?
Yeah, very
It's
much
an
like
LS3.
think Arlen.
Oh, like the Boss Haas?
Yeah.
like a Boss
but
Hoss,
a trike.
but a trike,
Okay.
right? And it's got the nacelle on the front, and it's flamed.
Mhm.
57 Chevy fins on the back, and a LS3.
He looked like a
and
badass.
it's
I
a turbo 350.
You were driving it.
Yeah, I drove. We had to do some service work on it. This was years ago, and got everything done, and nobody would ride it. And I'm like, I'll fucking ride this. Absolutely, I'll do that, dude. It when I got on it, like it's like, oh, it's a fucking trike. It's no big deal, And you start rolling into it. You're like, this thing's fucking dangerous.
It's pulling
But
me.
then, but then I started getting like, well, this thing's actually kind of fun. So I just start doing loops, right? I mean, we had like our little run that you go and
You're getting comfortable.
test drive,
Yeah.
getting comfortable.
Brave.
Well, you get into that thing,
Brakes are getting
so
hot.
hard. Well, the suspension, the weight distribution, everything is so bad. It's so off.
Yep.
You have no idea if the front wheel is on the ground or off the ground or when it's gonna shift.
What size tires in the back? Like an automotive tire?
Probably like a 245 something 15,
Yeah.
like with a I'm saying, a big sidewall, like a Uniroyal.
Like a 60.
Yeah.
An all season tire or something.
And you can just if you roll into it slow enough, you can haze them, without getting too stupid. But you don't it's just
Oh my God.
the whole thing is just.
Are you hearing the passion in his voice?
Well, then you don't sit on it well either.
Dude,
I don't know if you know this or not, but an
Is this
LS3 is pretty fucking wide.
I figured the ergonomics
So if you've ever
were
sat
great on that. All I'm seeing is the cigarette, the flannel shirt flying in the wind. Josh, one hand on the bars.
You haven't fucking lived. I'm telling you.
Was there a street and performance alternator out here?
I was thinking the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, the right side you had to kind of kick your leg back because that turnbuckle for that street and performance was out there.
Probably use that as a highway peg, though.
But that is
thing-
a story not many people can tell.
No, it's
Something to hang your head on.
The old story about mopeds and fat chicks, right?
Yep.
That throw a trike in there.
Well, that's why you stayed in that little loop, right?
Exactly.
You didn't go
Yeah,
downtown.
I've had a fucking blast. Didn't
Yeah,
want to see.
you didn't
Didn't
go
want anybody to
downtown.
see me riding her. But yeah,
Oh, shit.
Yeah, we veered way off track there. That whole three-wheeler thing just.
Yeah.
That was a good three-wheeler
I was
story.
thinking,
though.
I'm thinking Takati over here, wondering if anybody ever got on a Takati. Remember those?
Yep. The old Kawasaki.
I never been on like a high horse two-stroker.
Never have. No, just the
250 ATC.
Yeah, we had the 250R, 86, 87, and they hauled ass. Those things are getting 25 grand
Yeah,
now
they're
for a
stupid
restored
money.
one. Mm-hmm. Yep, they're amazing.
completely.
Have you seen the guys taking new like YZ 450s and putting
Mhm.
straight axles in the back and turning them into three wheelers?
Yeah.
Oh, why?
They're fucking cool as shit.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see what the guys from Grindhard Plumbing Company did the other day?
Well,
They took-
Austin? Is that Austin's deal?
No, Grindhard Plumbing Company. They're out of Minnesota.
They're
I would-
northwest,
Oh,
like
Northwest.
Washington
I would've thought,
State.
uh,
They do like
Homestead or-
Power Wheels bodies on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I
They
follow
did-
those guys.
They did a Banshee with a CBR 600 engine on it, and dude, that thing fucking rips. It absolutely fucking rips. There's a whole video. They got a like FPV drone behind it, and it's just rolling. Dude, that thing. Yeah, that's what I want. Fucking
at?
awesome.
Yeah, their page is pretty impressive.
Yeah, they look like they're having a fucking blast.
Yeah.
They can't be doing all that in that little shop that they showed that they're doing the shit.
I
in.
wouldn't be surprised.
Not
What's
very
their-
big vehicles.
Yeah, what's their YouTube following like? Because I see all these like morons on YouTube. They're like making a fucking living doing
Huge
stupid
money.
automotive stuff. Those guys
They're
should
building
be-
legit
Oh, I
cool
mean, that
shit.
would
They should be
be-
millionaires.
would be an awesome.
Well, that
This is
whistling,
full blown career.
that
right
whistling diesel guy. I mean, he's
there. That's I
rolling
think
in
that's
it.
the guy I'm referring to. Like
Yeah,
I
he's-
watched one of them. Like, fuck this dude.
He's just destroying shit. He's
Yeah.
just rolling in it, dude.
Sounds almost as good as an original Banshee.
Tell me you wouldn't get fucking.
Oh,
If
yeah.
it was just a three-wheeler.
Yeah, that would make it so much
They
safer.
were so close.
It would make it so much
They
safer.
were so close.
Oh, shit.
I just sold a couple of those Honda Odyssey 350s. Yeah,
Oh,
I had two
Oh,
80,
that bring a trailer,
1985s.
right?
Yeah.
They're fucking clean.
Yeah, they were too nice. I was like, I can't keep these.
Dude, we got a Pilot.
Oh, do you? Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's the generation after. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're awesome.
89, I think it is.
Yep.
That
Yeah, I
was
think we got
the
it in
holy
like
grail for me.
93, maybe. I
Okay.
remember my dad. We looked at them like back when they first came out. I remember seeing them like how badass those were. And then my dad was always talking about getting one, and he found one somewhere. And I remember like when we got it, we took it out to the dunes. I couldn't sleep that night.
I bet
I'm
you
like,
could.
I
Oh,
was so
man.
excited
Oh,
because
my
I had
God.
these visions of this thing. Like dude, there was no long travel anything.
No, you were
back then.
Yeah, you were basically in a Baja
Yeah.
vehicle.
In the
Still-
promo shot, right? It's in the
Oh,
sand
yeah.
dune doing the big berm
Dude,
shot.
still to this day though, like you take that thing out and like you could go run razors all day and jump in that. It's an impressive
smooth,
machine.
yeah.
And I
Mhm.
mean, you can send that fucker. Like the razors, they're hairy when you send them. You know, they always want to like lawn dart. That Pilot, dude, you could jump that thing like Evil Knievel.
Fuck.
I mean, just
Balanced.
it just
Yep.
So it's everything I hoped it was.
You still have it?
Mostly
Yeah.
balanced.
Rad.
yeah.
Um,
still
I
have
remember
it.
I was
Kevin,
wanting to
Kevin,
go-
if you're listening, my dad's still not mad, but he is disappointed.
Yeah,
We'll just leave it at that.
Kevin
Oh,
fuck
you
one up.
soldiers.
Kevin
Yeah.
rolled one.
Oh shit.
yeah. We were doing these like we were doing speed runs. We'd time each other going around this track that we had, and he just hung it all out there. A buddy of mine back. This is back in high school.
Came a
He-
little hot.
Yeah, comes in fucking
Why?
hot on the final because there's a final turn, like a little bank turn.
And it was your guys' machine.
Yeah.
little bank turn, and then a tabletop is where you finish, and that's where you click. You know, that was the finish line. Well, there was a chain link fence about 15, 20 feet outside that bank turn. It looked like one of those videos from the "And They Walked Away" videos from like the 90s.
The old sprint
with a
car
sprint
crash.
car. Dude, he fucking rolls this. It caught a rut and just went airborne and just kept going and going and going and like off into the chain link fence. You know, all plastics are busted up. And we were-
Arms out.
yeah, we were, I don't know, 15, 16 or something at the time. You know, my dad had bought it. It didn't belong to us. It was his. So that was like a major sit down with my mom and my dad. And they're like, you know what? And they really liked him, but they're like, my mom had to tell Kevin, or dude, as we call him, she's like, you know, Neil's not, he's not mad. He's just very disappointed with you, Kevin.
Yeah,
He's
that's a tough talk.
Because it was
Yep.
done, right? That thing was toast.
It was fucked up. We
Yeah.
straightened it all out. He actually bought all new plastics, bought us a new wheel for it, bent up a wheel and shit. Yeah, it's all tuned up.
I
now.
remember I was probably 11 or 12 when I was wanting to go
Electricity was invented.
So that came out in the catalog, like, and before then, I always thought that like rich kids just got more of the same thing I got.
Oh.
You know, they didn't get nicer things; they
Right.
just got more of them thing. You know?
So you were middle class. You
Right.
weren't poor.
Oh no, I was fucking poor.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So then I was wanting a go kart, like I was wanting like a little lawn, whatever cart, whatever I could get. If it was fucking motorized, I would be happy. Then I saw that, I'm like, oh. So that's what fucking rich kids get. They don't get more go-karts. They just get way better
Way-
ones.
yeah.
My dad got away with it because he would say he's getting it from my mom. So he would.
Yeah, my
He
mom got a lot
wanted-
of cool
he
shit.
always-
Same thing that happens
Yeah,
now.
he just
yeah.
wanted like cool toys and shit.
Right.
So he would say, which didn't work good for us because we would fuck it up, right? And then we'd have to deal with my mom, because she
That
was
was
pissed
mine.
because even though
Yeah.
she never drove it, it was
Right.
like that was hers,
Yeah.
right? So we destroyed her Pilot. We destroyed her Spree or moped, you name it.
She got a backpack mounted leaf blower for Mother's Day one year.
No.
Yeah. Because my dad thought she really liked
Fuck.
running the
Serious?
leaf blower and didn't want to have to carry it. So he got her a backpack mounted one.
Ugh.
Legit thinking it was sincere.
How did that go?
Not well.
Nah, yeah, not
I
real
think she
good.
walked out.
It's better than a vacuum.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. That's when men were men. Those are the kind of gifts you can fucking buy.
Yeah. I've seen you vacuum in the house. You look like you've been struggling. I got you a new one.
When you're done with
Dreams.
dinner.
Dreams do come true. Dare to dream. So you guys mentioned you went to Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
How was
yeah.
it?
Oh, unbelievable, man.
Really?
Absolutely hilarious.
Awesome. I
Yeah.
haven't seen him live. I'm really looking forward to seeing him.
Yeah, I would strongly recommend it. I mean, my face hurts
Yeah.
from seeing it.
I would-
Nothing better than comedy.
That's the first
I'm just too nice a
comedy
guy.
show I've been to.
I am. I'm too nice a guy.
Are you?
Yeah.
Why is
I
that?
want to do exactly like y'all two fuckers did to me about the F1 race to Phil about Kevin Hart.
Oh,
Because
feel bad?
Phil didn't get to go.
I did not.
But
you didn't go?
I feel bad. I can't do it.
Did you take his ticket or? Oh,
No.
just give it to him.
No, much like F1, I wasn't invited. He wasn't invited. It was
but I guess if you had to look at
You
it,
can
like,
blame that on Scott. That wasn't on
Right.
us.
if you had to look at it
That
as
fucking
like
Josh guy's not going, is he?
F1 race in Miami versus Kevin Hart, like dude, Kevin Hart's pretty funny, but Kevin Hart live is in a fucking F1 race. I'm sorry, in Miami.
I was being nice.
That was-
How do you turn it back around and be a fucking dickhead?
He's feeling bad and covering up
Yeah,
right now.
exactly what
I think it's called
Diversion.
deflection.
Yeah, divert. Yeah.
Deflection, yeah.
But yeah, strongly
Fucker.
recommended, man. It's hilarious. It's the first like real comedy show I've been to,
Oh, really?
and oh, dude, unbelievable. The opening act's hilarious.
But his
He's-
clubs are huge, though. Like he doesn't play in small clubs, does
Oh,
he?
It's a
No,
fucking
we
United
we
Center.
started at the United Center.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a
yeah.
sold out show at the
Yeah.
Where the
United
Bulls
Center.
play.
Yeah, the small clubs, that's where it's at.
Yeah, I tell you though, we were leaving, like you're laughing about how funny it was and all that kind of shit, but then you're thinking like this is very early in his tour. He hasn't toured in several years,
Right.
with COVID and all this stuff. He's got a huge fucking tour. I'm looking at it instantly. I'm like, how fucking hard is that for everybody, for every night it to look like he's telling those jokes for the first time and look like he's just as excited as everybody else is that's listening, you know? Because after the first time
Yep.
you say something that's funny,
Yeah.
the next time you're kind of like, all right, I'm going through the
Yeah, a
motions,
guy
whatever.
walks into a bar.
But after the 50th fucking time, and he gets like, he still like cracks himself up.
That's
through
the
it and all that.
funniest part about it.
It's
It's just
so fucking
yeah.
funny.
Sometimes that is the funniest part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I built a few cars for Bill Burr. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but
yeah.
Dude,
Probably my
that's-
favorite
that's-
comedian.
He's
Yeah.
fucking hilarious.
and he's
Yeah.
exactly that way in real life.
Really?
Yeah, he came to Old Crow.
That's awesome.
We had an open house at the shop in Burbank, and he was there with his wife, and we're standing in the taco line. We had a taco truck in the parking lot, and we're standing there, and he's behind me, and his old lady's phone goes off, and it's like this noise, like it almost sounds like a backup beacon on a forklift, right? And he's like, he said some shit like that. Your phone's giving me fucking anxiety. It's like, beep, it's like a backup thing on your car. It's like beep 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 beep, beep fucking. But it was just like his comment about that particular thing
Just
just
in
had
normal
me
life, right?
dying, and he wasn't trying, and I was like, this guy is a fucking genius. It's so funny.
Dude, he's a riot, man. I would just come
we might have to steal
unglued
that contact.
Yeah.
listening to him.
Yeah,
Think you'd like answer if you called him? Like, call him, dude. Call him.
he would. He would.
Text him.
Yeah, was it PRI last year? The whole way down we listened to Bill Burr, and
Oh.
then the whole way back we were just fucking dying.
He's
Yeah.
like the one guy that
Not the
seems like
entire way,
he
but most
holds
of the way.
nothing
there was that other
back.
stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I
I think
mean-
he's pretty down the middle. I think he's pretty careful politically too, which is
Make
great.
it talk.
But he's a real guy, just a real
Yeah.
dude. Yeah.
We'll tell that one off camera.
Sorry.
I-65 South, man. It's got a mind of its own.
So, what about the Falcon? When's that going to be done?
Oh shit. I've been grinding on that thing actually. Cool story this week, seeing as it's fresh in my head. I had to send the motor. The motor is a 426 Hemi out of the Hawaiian funny car. One of the motors. Obviously, they had tons, but it was a legit motor out of that car. So I was like, I can send this
Super
motor.
streetable.
Yeah. I have to send this to a shop where we can dial it down a little bit and be on the street. It has a magnesium Hampton blower, which is bitchin'. It's a 9-rib, super rare blower. So Hampton, the old man's still in business, and his son reached out to me. And he goes, "My dad would love to rebuild that blower. He's like 80 something." I'm like, "That's awesome to have the actual guy that built the blower rebuild it for the street, clearance it a little bit." And then I was like, "Who am I going to have do the motor?" And there's a million race shops I could send it to and just have it done. There's a ton of old timers in Prescott that have massive car collections, and I get a call from this guy Gary Malacote, who was a drag racer back in the 60s, him and his brother, and they built in I think 1969. Don't fact check this, but they had a twin turbo 426 Hemi that was in the 6s, And he showed me a picture of the car, and it could have been a picture of today. The turbos were mounted down low by the core support, big 6-inch or 8-inch tubes coming up to an intake into the motor. Like, it was something you'd see today.
That's not that Malco gasser, is it?
It was
that
a
Mustang?
CUDA. It was
No.
like a CUDA or a Challenger or something like that. But they were in the 6s in 1969 with a twin turbo 426 Hemi.
Good
Insane.
grief.
So he's like,
Fucking NASA wasn't doing that shit.
dude, and he's a little guy. He's just an old timer, and he's like, "God, this is a cool car." He didn't even blink on how tall it was in the back, because he knows, he's familiar.
Yep.
And he's like, "This thing's not going to hook up." I'm like, "Yeah, I hope it doesn't ever.
100% right.
I hope it never hooks up, because it'll flip over upside down." But he's like, "I'd love to build this engine for you." And so I said, "That'd be incredible to have your name,
That's pretty awesome.
on this car." So he's building the motor. I'm super stoked. Dave Shutton, I don't know if you follow him, but he
yeah.
restores all the Ed Roth cars. He's a good friend of mine. He wants to paint it,
Oh,
which
fuck,
is
that's gonna be
cool.
awesome.
He does some pretty rad stuff.
Yeah. So my whole idea with this car is to build a legendary car that is known. Like, if somebody finds it in a barn in 60 years, that they're going to know that it was this or this or this, and it has these names on it. And my dream is to take it to Moon Eyes, Japan,
Nice.
because I've been there with Bobby Green, and it's
Dude,
just,
I've always wanted to go there.
Yeah.
it's
I was just looking at that shit
yeah.
today.
yeah, Japan's life changing. For me, it was. And so my dream is to go there with that car and, hang out with those people again. It was just amazing.
We need to plan a
Have you
trip
seen
to
a-
fucking Japan.
Have you seen pictures of the car?
So the first picture I saw, looking at a picture of our chassis, I see this RoadsterShop spec chassis, and I'm staring at it. I'm like, that's badass. And
That's
then I
that picture
see,
scroll
and then
up
I
a
see
little
this gnarly fender well header in the background. I'm like, forget that chassis. What's up with that fender well
Yeah.
header, dude? That looks sick. I'm like, what is that? So then I was digging around and saw that. I'm so into gassers. Me and Phil actually bought this bitchin' original
show you
60s
tomorrow.
Oh,
gasser.
really?
Yeah,
Like
it's-
old paint job,
Yeah,
old,
it's-
Yeah,
dude,
faded, cracked, patina,
old chrome that's
Yep.
all flaked off.
Yeah. It says Panama Red is the name on it. It's a 56 gasser. It's got a lot of California, early 60s
Super
history.
sketchy welds and
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Bubble
hairy.
gum.
It's got a tunnel ram dual quad 327, but it's a bitchin'.
I
yeah.
retract my statement. Three-wheeler's not the most dangerous.
Yeah. It's really sketchy.
We got a barbecue grill with a really similar stance and
Yeah.
the same wheels and tire. No, legit. We built
Serious?
it. We built a street
It's
freak,
just like
a street freak smoker.
bar.
It's sitting out back.
Yes.
that's just got ladder bars for days.
Yeah, they're super long. It's big shackles.
Do those connect to the front axle? Like it literally.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, it's 4-wheel steer. No, but it's supposed to be super dangerous and hard to drive, and it's a 6-speed manual.
Yeah, well, you've got that.
Yeah,
You don't
Yeah.
want to worry about it's
Nailed it.
supposed to be.
yeah, 513s. I don't know what that motor is going to do, but I would assume it's 1,000 horsepower without even trying. But
The fact that he's talking about we're going to detune one of the Hawaiian, funny cars for the street. Just take it down a little bit.
yeah. Because my
that's
dad
so
had a
rad.
Falcon Street Freak back in the day, and it was a tunnel ram and super sketchy. And as a kid, I remember sitting in the back seat, and those cars have a really deep quarter panel horizontal part before it drops down. You can pretty much, when the hardtop window's down, you can put your arm out on the quarter panel.
Yeah.
Well, he was like 12 or something, or 10, and my fingers were hanging over the door jamb. And of course, you can tell what happened next. Somebody slammed the door, and all 4 of my fingers were in the door
Ooh.
jamb. And that was one of the reasons I remember that car so much. But
If you get
Much
that
like Wyatt
arm-
will remember a minivan after the last Florida trip.
Oh yeah,
He slammed his
yeah,
fingers
he
in the
got
door.
closed- he
No,
got closed
really?
up in one. Yeah.
well, like the electric closing ones, or
Yeah, I think my wife actually just straight up closed the door.
Oh.
On him.
If you get that arm
prevailed.
right over that jam too, and you get a little flex,
Ooh, a little pinch in
get a
there.
little-
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's
Right in the
worst.
sweet meat.
Right in the sweet meat. Somebody's been paying attention.
I'm taking notes.
Is that a customer project or is that
No, that's
something that you're?
mine.
That's
Yeah,
so
it's just a
rad.
passion project that'll probably never get done, but maybe
There
hopefully
is
it does.
legitimately nothing cooler than the feel of being in like a traditional gasser.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, we've talked
that's
about it on this podcast.
as cool as it gets.
The 56 we built for George is bar none, hands down, the most fun I've ever had behind the wheel of anything.
Really?
Not saying, I mean,
Yeah.
Passenger seat's pretty fucking scary.
yeah. There's so many other cars that do so many other things
Different
better.
things. Yes.
But that as a whole, that is if I could buy any car
Mhm.
that we've ever built, it would be that fucking car.
That's
It's
awesome.
just the most fun.
Quote Harry Hogg, fast is loose and on the edge out of control.
Yeah.
That was there all day long.
And the thing is, having it for probably one more day would have been catastrophic because
You get a little confidence.
Like the three-wheeler.
Fucking
Like the
confident.
three-wheeler,
Yeah.
you just start doing laps.
The car shot straight.
It shot
Yeah.
so fucking straight. It just glazed them like you wanted it to do. And I mean, that thing I don't know.
Did what it was supposed to
about
do. So are you guys the same as me in this way? So you build cars that do G forces. They handle so well. They accelerate. They stop like nothing else on the market. Would you still rather get in a 1964 GTO with bias-ply tires and a Muncie 4-speed and go through some corners and get on a track with that car
No.
as much as a new one?
Not at all.
No.
No.
Really?
But what I would say, you know, I see where you're going with that.
The analogs
Yeah.
is still
The analog's awesome, but the stock analog sucks. Like to me, getting in a stock like C2 vet, a mid-year vet, it's almost not drivable. And we've had some iconic muscle like 454 LS6, you know, Chevelles that that was the pinnacle of muscle cars. And you get in it, and it's like I could sit there and be like texting on my phone and mat it to the floor
Yeah,
and be
they are
like banging
slow.
gears
Yeah,
and
they
like.
are slow.
But what is
Your phone
cool-
comes down when you try to go to a corner, hit the brakes. Though.
Yeah. What is cool is like we had this was years back. We had a 70 Nova that the car was actually on the cover of Popular Hot Rodding magazine in like the mid 70s. A guy bought it brand new, and the very first thing he did was clip the front end, took the subframe out of it and fabricated a front subframe for a straight axle. Tunnel ram, dual quad, fender well headers, ladder bars. I mean, it's as real deal as a gasser can get. Muncie 4-speed with a T-handle shifter,
Wow.
just gnarly, right? Now that's cool. I mean,
Yeah.
that to me is as cool, if not cooler, as getting in something that will do all the G-forces and behave
Yes.
properly, because it's maybe 550 or 600 horsepower, but it feels like 7,000.
right.
Yeah.
Because
But that's the difference.
It is the hairiest
Yeah.
thrill like you've ever had in your life.
But you're never taking it through a fucking turn or trying to do.
No,
anything.
you've got to wait.
Right.
Like every time I would drive it, and I'd do like a whole shot or do like a first, second, third pull. You'd look around you, you'd make sure nobody's behind you, you'd make sure there's no oncoming traffic. On a 2-lane, you kind of pull it to the center, get right in the middle because you need as much forgiveness as you can
Right,
get, and then
right.
just stand on it, right?
We had like one of probably the nicest Copo clones that I'd ever seen, and that thing sucked everywhere.
Yeah.
It didn't do anything well. It
Yeah.
wasn't like, oh, it just didn't turn, but it was fast. It wasn't fast. It didn't turn. It didn't stop. It didn't crank. It didn't shut off. Everything about it sucked. I mean, 428 Cobra Jet Mustangs. I mean, L88 Vets. I mean, everything. Like, it's all of those things suck.
Mm-hmm.
They're cool to look at, but like you're saying, if you can get, it doesn't have to corner, but if the analog part of going fast straight is fucking cool, or the analog part of it can turn, I've just got to do what I've got to do because the
Right.
car can only do so much. As
Yeah.
long as I do what I've got to do, I can get it through the turn. All that shit's cool,
Mhm.
but the stock shit to drive anyway.
Yeah.
Every time we're like, maybe this is going to be pretty good. We've had probably the cream of the crop, no matter what it is, and they fucking suck.
Yeah, I guess that's where I may be a little bit different because I'm more of a drive. Like I enjoy the drive. So I would love to see a good driver on a track, on a road course, like a tight course,
Sure.
against somebody just off the street in a modern muscle car. Obviously,
That'd be cool.
it's just I really enjoy the tires not biting and the car rolling.
Yeah.
And
Did you ever see that in-car video of the Holman Moody Falcon? The guy ripping around some big track, and it's modern day in a Holman
and
Moody
he's just
car,
to
and
the
just
mat.
tearing ass around it, and it's sliding everywhere. It's all over the track, and it just looks fucking
he's
badass.
Working.
Yeah.
He's working.
He's got giant balls sitting in the passenger seat.
And I guess why I'm there is because I've never had anything that's gone fast, like in my whole life. So I don't know unless I get in a rental car that's actually kind of fast. I'm like, oh, this is actually pretty cool.
Well, the thing that like a spec Camaro or a spec Mustang, with 450 horsepower and good tires and set up right, will scare the shit out of you in a good way because you can't get it to do something fucking stupid. And you're the one that gives up in a turn before it will, and then that you get so accustomed to that. And then you're like, well, this is fucking easy. And then it's the next thing and it's the next thing. And now, the Grand National made what to the tires?
Like 1,300.
Yeah. And that's like, it just does its thing perfectly.
Yeah. A tremendous amount of like engineering, fabrication, and everything went
Absolutely.
into
I didn't
doing
say it
that.
just
But
happened.
it
Right.
does it,
Yeah.
But that car still, that leaves you with the chills. That's the first car we've ever built that actually like scares me or I show some respect to.
Is that right?
It's just so fucking fast.
Wow.
You hear it. So everybody's built stuff that's huge horsepower, but putting the power down and actually like making the horsepower is a different story. And that car legitimately does it.
Wow.
That car, you're doing mid 100, you're doing 150 miles an hour before you even know you're accelerating. It's that damn fast.
Before it gets violent in any way.
And that's right about the time when you are just realizing what's happening and you want to stay in it, But
yeah.
You can't react fast enough.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. I remember my first experience with north of 1,000 horsepower with Tom Nelson. And went to visit him in Chatsworth there, and we're just bullshitting. And he's like, hey, you want to go for a ride in this RX-7? And it was a beat up. You probably know the car, but it was like an old beat up RX-7, the early version of it. And he doesn't show me the motor or nothing, because I was, super addicted to his twin turbo motors at the time, and still am. But we get in this car, and it's just a pussycat. We're just driving it through town, stopping at the lights, 900 RPM, 850 RPM, just idling nice, good temps. He's not 2-footing it or anything. He's driving it, and we're going 60 mile an hour. He's okay. I'm gonna give it like a quarter throttle. It's like. And the whole car just fills full of smoke, like instantly. And we're going 100 mile an hour. And I don't know if you've talked to Tom tons, I'm sure. And he's got that laugh, right? He just that mad
like
scientist kind of laugh. And he starts laughing. I start laughing. So we're dying in this car. You can't see. And then the smoke finally clears and he's like, okay, now I'm gonna punch it. So we're going 100 mile an hour. He punches it and it's the same thing. Like just. And then the laugh starts again. I'm just like, what is happening right now? Like we are laying 2 strips of rubber at 100 mile an hour as long as you want to run it. And I'm just like, holy shit. And he goes, these are 276 gears in this car.
Damn.
Yeah. It's the only thing that he said it will remotely hook.
Yeah. That's where the big horsepower cars, that's where it gets dicey, is that, you're used to braking traction in first or second gear at 15, 20, 30 miles an hour, but when you're
fifth and
when you have to be conscious of braking traction at 100 miles an hour, because that's you've got to react pretty damn quick. But I will say that Grand National just shoots like a missile, and if you're respectful of it and you can roll into the throttle and not get because your instinct tells you get excited, it's making the cool noises, you want to just put your foot in it, but if you can restrain yourself enough to roll into the throttle, you can be pretty aggressive with it, but that thing will just hook, bite, and accelerate. And it's the only car that legitimately puts you through the seat. Everybody has the thing, you accelerate, you're like, oh yeah, we're going fast, right? That car, it takes your insides and puts them through the back of the seat.
That's what you're going for,
takes
right?
your insides and pulls them through your outsides.
Yeah.
That's what you're going for. Right. Has that track or a car been on a track?
Not on a track yet.
Yeah.
No, we just finished it. We're still being pretty respectful of it because we haven't debuted it at SEMA yet. It's going to
I'm
be
gonna keep the paint on it for now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got listener questions coming up, so
Right.
let's hold off a little
Yeah.
bit.
I look forward to seeing that. Like if it goes to an actual track and can put some good lap times down, that'd just be a game changer.
What
Yeah,
did Dave's 55 do?
that car like braking traction, all the way through the 60-foot, ran a clean 10.0.
Oh, I mean a road course.
Yeah, on a road. I think that car, it's got an automatic 4L80 manual valve body trans in
Yeah.
it. I mean, the chassis is dialed and it's set up to do road course stuff. The trans, if I was going to go pounding on a road course,
Right.
it's not necessarily the trans you want to be like hanging downshifts
Right.
and going into corners.
What would you take to a road course if one of your builds?
Oh, that's pretty easy.
Yeah,
Road rage.
Road rage.
right.
Yeah.
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 That thing's
Yeah.
just driving down the street. You feel like you're driving a NASCAR.
Really?
It's one of the most badass feeling things. And
Ugh.
it makes you feel like a fucking superstar in what you think you can do, and then you get into something else, and you're like, yeah, I was
Yeah.
drastically fooled.
40 miles an hour.
Phil can do those things though in
Yeah.
cars. Like you park him in something like we stuck him in that road rage. The first time ever. The car was
Still.
pretty fresh, and this is. I mean, we do this every year. We bring something out to Street Machine of the Year. So Phil, jump in. You got to do the autocross stuff.
Autocross. Yeah.
So there's usually like one or two little pointers I could say about like, yeah, it has no corks, or like, just second gear. Like it just, right now we got to adjust the shift bezel when it gets back. So just give it a good, this is one or two little pieces of
Sure.
information.
So we usually finish the night before
Right.
for the show.
And it's just, fuck it, get out there.
Send it.
Yeah. You have like the pros that compete, and do like all year round. They spend their fucking life racing, autocrossing. And then you've got the street machine contenders, which are usually like a minute slower than those.
Right.
Well, Phil goes out for the very first time, and the very first time the car's ever been driven, and is usually like plus or minus like a second or half a second with the pros on that thing.
Yeah.
Gets in it, just crushes it. I mean, drifting it,
There
doing
we go.
donuts in it. Yeah, there's a video of it.
It's a victory lap afterwards.
Did
So
you
that's-
qualify? Like, did you have a qualify time?
Yeah, one had the top time for the street machine cars.
But
beat Kyle Tucker. Not that big of a deal. Ugh.
But that's a car that just makes you want to do that. It's
Oh my god.
One hand on the
Yeah.
wheel.
mind you, that's an expensive car. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't touch a cone.
Drifted in and out of several of the cones in a second here.
Oh my god.
Fucking Ken Block driving that or what?
Yeah, I think the car just works really good. I don't know if it's the driver or what.
I've told you this many times. That's the coolest you've ever fucking been. Absolutely coolest.
So who
you've
drives the
ever
rental
fucking
car
been.
when you guys go somewhere?
Well,
That'd be
Phil
right.
on the street versus Phil on the racetrack's two totally different things, right? Sometimes I have to remind myself, like when Phil's, pulling into a parking spot or clips a curb or something, like, oh, he can actually, like, I know he can drive shit really fast and really good.
It's hard to drive
rental
slow.
car is a different story.
It's hard to drive
Yeah.
slow. That is
Uh,
awesome.
You gonna hang around for listener questions?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
I got nowhere
Alright.
to be.
You take
But
a-
what else?
Oh, go ahead.
I mean, have we got anything else with the trucks or anything, or what's, what are your, where are you at? What's your future plans? I mean,
Yeah.
are the trucks where it's at? Is that,
For
Is
now,
is that your
I
swan song right now?
yeah, I think so. I try not to force anything.
Yeah.
Whatever happens naturally, I just go with it. And this seems to be a super fun thing to do and offer at a fairly small level as we usually are. So I think I'm going to stay in my lane.
Cool.
You know what I mean? I don't want to compete with the big guys. I respect them, and I just want to do what I do. And hopefully, I can get a little bit of respect back and just do our thing. Maybe set some trends along the way, and
You've done that once or twice.
Yeah.
I think it'll keep going with you.
yeah, just have some fun. I'm blessed to be in partnership with you guys and other good companies that do cool shit. So
Yeah, I want that
that's
blazer.
Bill Burr's. That's Bill Burr's blazer.
Oh.
Well, he actually gave that to his head of security as a gift. But
That thing was under wraps. You didn't show shit on it, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden, like it was done.
you know, it's funny. It was kind of a respect thing. I was like, I don't want to be the guy who blows up Bill Burr's name and use my Instagram and use his Instagram.
It was just a badass truck, regardless who it was for.
Yeah,
You should've just
exactly.
pumped it
Sick
better.
truck.
Exactly, yeah. And you know, it was cool because he's like, he had this shitty little black and white photo, and he's like, this is the only photo I could find, and it was a '74 Spanish gold black top with rallies. I was like, okay, let's do it. But let's, LS3, and we'll make
Sure.
it kind of reliable. And so we finished it, and it went to New Jersey, and he surprised him. And then, oh my God,
That's a killer truck.
of course, everything goes wrong on the debut, right? He gets it, it runs perfect until when he goes to take it somewhere and it has a dead pedal. So
Of course, right.
clear the code, whatever we had to do, and then like they're showing him the engine, everything's cool, brand new hinges, brand new like everything. Folds the hood in half.
Oh yeah, classic square body hood.
Yeah. But everything was new and greased and everything. But those repop hoods are just
A well,
Dude, you
little
gotta
little
put-
bridge
yeah,
in
you gotta
there.
put some
which we did on the second.
Yeah, you
go
got to
around,
put
but
some Ring Brothers hinges.
I was
on
just
those
hoping
things.
that it would work, but it didn't. So
I
but
did
we
that.
fixed it.
The first square body that I bought from Billy Steele.
Yeah, it had a clay hood.
It was.
Unbelievable. Never
It
seen
wasn't
anything
made
like
of
clay.
It was,
the
it
one
was not
GM
made of
used
metal.
to-
I've never seen
prototype?
anything like this in my life. I've never seen metal move and return like this.
Yeah, I don't even know what you would call it. So
Same scenario.
he brought it to
Detroit.
Detroit for the Riddler, and I picked it up from him there.
Yep.
And it was
You'd probably know the
patinaed.
car, the truck. Remember
Oh, fake brown patina, had
Oh,
Steely's
yeah.
big hubcaps on it.
Mhm.
Porterbuilt shit on it.
Yes.
Pop the hood, check out everything under the hood. He's like, yeah, it's got this, and that. So it's just a small block turbo 350. And I go to close it, and it was just whoop, boom. And I swear my left hand came all the way around and hit my right hand. And it tacoed the fuck out of this hood.
I'm sitting there,
And-
and Phil was so proud he got this new truck, and he's all stoked, and I'm like,
It's-
fuck, dude, he just ruined it. Like,
And then I let go of it, and it was like Flex Armstrong.
It just went
It just whoop, and there wasn't a crease. The paint wasn't fucked up. There was
No.
nothing.
yeah, I've never seen anything like this in my life.
Dude, it's Flex Armstrong. You stretched it
Yeah.
out like this, right back to
Dude,
original.
you could this hood, you could fold it like
It's like
40
you're making
degrees.
a paper airplane.
I mean, 40 degrees, and then you would just you could grab it and just put it right back, and then shimmy it down, and you
All
couldn't
good.
even you could sight it, and you couldn't even see a little bit of deflection
Yeah.
in it. No
Wow.
crack.
Magic.
They
no
don't make them
anything.
like they used to.
No.
That's
That's
for sure.
impressive.
Yeah.
That happened to Barrett Jackson actually. The guy with the white gloves that closes the hood. Top goes a hood right on stage. It was a nice truck too.
Damn.
What'd you do?
Yeah.
Square body. Yeah.
Looks like Barrett bought this one.
Right.
M&M's in the dash vents.
Squares are tough. We got a nice little gusset piece we're laser cutting now that you can either bond or weld into those to keep that
I'm just not
from,
building them.
from
Fuck.
happening.
Fuck those things. I mean, I want your truck, but that's the only square body I want. And Joe Yezi's, of course. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what I'd get if I don't know what my dream car is. I guess the Falcon and maybe something super fast. Like if I could own Rampage, that would be a dream of mine. Because I'm a big road course guy. I have a racing simulator. I do iRacing, and
Nice.
I've spent I've been lucky enough to get invited to at SEMA. Sometimes you get in the Ferraris and you get to do 3 or 4 laps or whatever, and I've been lucky enough to do that, and I feel at home in those cars. I'm like, I need to be on a track all the time. So I guess that would be my thing. If I were to ever have, my dream car would be like Rampage, something that you could go out and just thrash. It wouldn't be that nice after a while because I would beat it to death.
Rampage is like it's like a Ferrari and a 70s Trans Am or ARCA or NASCAR. Like they fucked and had, a offspring. Like
Yep.
it's because it's so civilized and European while you're driving.
But it has some ADHD.
It sounds
Oh, you're,
like
you're thinking of road rage because
Road
Rampage.
Rage.
There
Road
is
Rage, I'm
nothing.
sorry.
There was nothing
No.
civilized about
Wait,
Rampage.
yeah,
Rage
maybe,
is what I'm
maybe I'm
talking
Yeah.
confused. too.
Rampage is the
white
The
one or the
raw-
blue.
all-out
yeah,
race
the
car, raw.
white, the white one
with a
that was
GoPro
all
logo
the-
on it for a while.
Oh,
That was a
gosh.
purpose-built track car.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, that's full blown.
Yeah.
Oh,
Race car.
it's full
Ass
race car.
kicker.
I mean, honestly, any of them, even that black, all of them. But
That's just like a NASCAR and like some trailer trash fucked and had a race car,
Yeah,
road rage
I
is
think so.
road
Yeah.
rage is different.
Road rage is very sophisticated.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, that car though, driving that car on the street was a riot, a rampage.
Rampage.
Just like, man, I've probably logged like 100 miles on the street with it.
You
just-
always felt like you were
just
doing
messing
something you
around.
shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
really,
Yeah, especially I rolled up next to a guy in like a 488
yeah,
Ferrari, right
Mhm.
over here in
Mhm.
front of Home
On
Depot.
Michelin slicks.
Yeah, on Michelin slicks, and obviously, like that guy's, you're in Mundelein. He probably thinks he's like king shit, right?
Right.
That
And you're
must-
very respectful.
of
You're always-
course,
Yeah.
yeah. I come in revving it like I'm,
That thing, yeah.
like
Yeah.
fucking.
Hey,
180-degree headers,
Yeah.
cackling,
fellow
spitting,
car
popping.
enthusiast. How are you? I see you like cars as well.
Yeah,
Oh, I like cars.
Right, I roll in next to him like I'm.
We're both wearing driving gloves.
Right, like I'm
How
Don
random.
Garfield's, right? So I mean, I'm just revving the shit out of that because that thing was like a symphony with those 180 headers. I ruined this guy's life. I bet you he sold the car
'Cause you're a good person.
100%. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, we left the line and it just. I mean, yeah,
Out the window.
yeah. There was the obligatory finger. Just the number one.
Like he needed to know.
there was
Well,
a guy
that
in
and
our
the hazards.
There was a guy in our hometown that had an F40 that he would,
Ooh.
No,
he would
cool.
daily drive it to the track for track days and then drive it home.
Damn.
And he never washed it. It was just like
Oh.
rubber on the quarters, brake dust over the whole car. It's just like, that guy's my hero.
So many
Yeah.
dudes thought he was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that for me is probably the ultimate car to.
Could be the number one
Yeah.
car of
Yeah.
all time.
Yeah. And it was dirty all the time.
That's cool.
And I pulled up and parked beside it downtown. Like it was downtown, like on Electric Avenue, which was where all the bars were. And I parked in front of it with my Model A, and he was geeking out on it. He didn't even tell me that was his car. He was just asking me a bunch of questions about my car. Just like, oh, this thing's fucking awesome, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then he leaves, and I'm, and
You
then
wanna
someone
trade?
tells me that was his F40, and I was like, that guy's rad.
No chicks
Yeah.
thought he was rad. That's
Well,
the
Dude, it
craziest
doesn't-
fucking thing.
It doesn't matter if you have
I know.
if you have an F40. then
Yeah.
that's-
I'm with you. It's just funny how what your thoughts are.
I would be
going
thinking
into-
about nothing like with an F40 other than driving and owning the F40. Like I would literally be not thinking. Chicks wouldn't even be anywhere in my mind
Yeah.
at that point in time.
Yeah.
It would
Just
be just
driving
you-
it.
Yeah, you
pure
just know you're so
driving
cool.
Excitement. Yeah.
Except the girls that are trying to get Instagram photos, like, get
Yeah. I'd be like,
Get-
get the
get
fuck
out
out of the way.
They're
I'm
like
trying to,
seagulls.
yeah,
Just get the
right.
fuck out of there.
Drive my car. I want to drive my F40.
Yeah.
But a Model A coupe, dude, a little Model A highboy coupe. I mean, that's a rad car to roll up into. That's
Yeah. Yeah. A little baby Hemi with I
was
built
gonna
a
say baby fucking Hemi is the way to go. with a
yeah,
Model A.
and I
I
built a tri-power intake for it that was pretty cool out of U-bends and threw some Strombergs on there and had some fun. It was, those things are light.
Yep.
And I drove it to Vegas from Canada for the what's that rockabilly thing they do in Vegas every April. That was fun. Put 3,000 miles on it round trip, and
That's like a rigid
Yeah.
chopper that you can have a buddy go with you.
yeah,
Because a buddy's not going to go with you on a rigid chopper.
without looking gay.
Oh, but yeah, you're not going to go ride butts and nuts for sure.
don't you
But-
quit me.
Yeah, but that's the exact same thing.
Yeah.
It's not like one car can do all things.
Yeah.
That's the car that satisfies
Yeah.
that kind of shit.
Yeah, it
There's
was
just
fun.
Something about
Yeah. In Utah, there was some construction and there were barrels, those orange barrels for 4 miles. And they were set probably 40 or maybe 60 feet apart from each other.
try to get cute and do some slalom.
I did slalom for 4 miles in that car.
Do you have
And-
bias plies on it too?
yeah. Yeah. 780s in the
A
back.
little
I think, or
screeching,
something.
not really slalom.
I had arm pump. My forearms were just like motocross, like just
that
rocks after.
Firestone pie crust or what?
Yeah. Yeah.
The
yeah.
Vega box in it, or what was
Mhm.
it? Yeah.
Yeah. Just
Super
all-
responsive.
all arm power. Yeah. So 4 miles of cones, trying to go as fast as you can, but that was super fun.
But there's just the hunched over, so you can see.
Yeah. Well, you want to look
And-
like John Milner, when
Yeah,
you-
yeah.
So
Yeah.
glad you said
Yeah.
that.
That's
Yeah.
nothing cooler, man. I mean, I guess that could be a neck and neck with the gasser.
Yeah.
There's all these just things you grew up on.
Yeah, I'm
that
so
look
glad you
at
said that. Nobody, not any of my friends even know who that guy is. And it's just like, am I a freak? Like, why is this guy my hero?
I would feel, and this is because I understand I'm a fucking redneck, but I would feel more at home daily driving and being badass in a Model A than the F40. I don't belong in the F40. Let's be real.
No, 100% you don't.
No, I
Yeah,
don't.
No, you're absolutely right.
Right. I would be as cool in the Model A.
Agree to disagree.
Stock Model A with a banger.
Yeah.
No, fuck no.
Yeah,
No. With a JBL like Bluetooth radio, so I can listen to
Bunston, Florida Georgia line.
Yeah, Model A Coupe's probably my favorite hot rod of all time. I've got a killer body, 31 flawless original body. That
Probably not anymore.
No, it's still clean. I've just been trying to find the time.
What motor were you gonna put in that?
I got a 392 Hemi for it.
Nice. So build it tall and traditional, or would you sleek it out a little bit?
No, super traditional. I want to do it with every single piece would be something authentic, rare.
Yeah, which is hard to do.
No, not pre. I like the I'd be looking at like 60s kind of drag style is what inspiration would be. I like the Tommy Ivo kind of era, but not being so showy and but yeah, something that's got a little slingshot influence in it.
Yep. And I gotta get you together with Bobby Green, my old partner there in Burbank. He has a church that he has his collection in Pasadena. If you guys ever make it to LA, he owns like 11 bars and restaurants.
I was gonna say he's a like bar guy. I mean,
yeah, they restore old buildings and bring shit back. And his personal like man cave car collection is his old church, and you will freak out. Yeah. So please let me put you guys together if you ever go to LA. It's if you like, that old stuff, like the original shit.
Love it.
He's a savant when it comes to all that stuff. So yeah, he's got a couple of the Miller Indy race cars now.
Sure.
Oh. He's getting into that thing, with Meekum and all those guys, and it's just insane. He was visiting me a couple weeks ago, and there was rumors that there's an old time. That's not a rumor; it's a fact. There's a guy in town in Prescott that has the serial number 1 Ferrari, the first Ferrari ever serial numbered. And I went and seen it with Bobby, and he didn't believe me. He's like, "That's
in Prescott."
Yeah,
Prescott.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. I don't know where that is, but but in my town, we went to this, and so we go to this garage. We go to this garage, and there's so much shit stacked in there you can't even see the car, and it's covered in dust. And sure enough, and as Bobby's seeing it, he's Googling, anything that he can find on this car, when it was raced. And there was 2 holes in the firewall that you could see if you look under the dash. That's where the coils were. And he like snaps a pic under the dash and shows me there's 2 empty holes there. He's like, this is the car. And I was like, holy shit. This is like a 1954 or whatever Ferrari.
Does the guy who owns it know what he has?
Yeah, but he doesn't care. He's like, I said, this car's obviously worth $30 million or something. He's like, yeah, I got money and like a couple extra zeros isn't going to bring me the joy that this car does. It's like,
it's cool.
I've met so many people through this car and I have so many memories. He bought it in like 58 or something.
Wow.
And for like $800. And he said, I've had so much fun and met so many people through this car that the extra zeros in my account don't matter, and he's in his 80s and he's got like a nice clean cut and he's like sharp as he knows every single thing. And Bobby is the same way. Bobby's a younger version of him. So he sees the steering wheel and he's geeking out on all the details and he knows it's legit and he's trying to compose himself, and it's so fun to watch him like see something that's melting his brain, but still try to like
hold it together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It was really cool. Really cool to be there.
That's rad.
Yeah.
Tell us about Todd.
Who's Todd?
Oh yeah, Todd. Is there a picture of Todd up there?
Todd.
That's Todd. Bottom right.
Oh, fuck those things, dude. Those motherfuckers are taking over my whole yard right now. That's the last thing I want to see.
No, they're the best.
They're killing like all my trees. They're like,
No, they're there for a reason. You got to leave them alone.
for what? Dude, my you should see.
Invite them into your house.
They're in my fucking house.
perfect.
You should see what my
Make
yard looks
a
like.
little shelf for them and feed them.
How do you get a hold of one? Because I'd like to get it in my hands and like pet it.
Yeah, I
Like,
bet you would. I bet you would.
Squeeze it.
They won't.
Rub
They
it.
won't. They sense the evil, so they won't.
Really?
But no.
He's a squirrel whisperer.
Yeah, our cats brought Todd in as a
Chipmunk.
as a-
Squirrel, right?
essentially a fetus, a little pink little thing sitting on my carpet. I didn't know what it was.
They didn't kill it,
I think they murdered its family.
and they felt bad, and they're like, "This
Well,
is the last survivor."
Well, you know how cats are, right? They'll bring you a trophy or whatever. Usually it's a head or a liver or something.
We brought the youngest.
Yeah. So
Here's the
I'm
firstborn.
I'm eating
Do with it as
my
you please.
my Fruit Loops or whatever I'm eating in the morning, and I look over, and our dog Dwayne is like, "What's that over there?" And so I go, and it's this little thing, and I took it to the vet, and I'm like, "What?" And they're like, "We don't know what it is, but it's a wild animal. We can't help you. But here's some milk, formula, and a dropper, and you have to feed it every 2 hours and warm it up. Don't feed it after midnight. And
Don't get it wet; it'll
yeah,
multiply.
Yes. So I take this home. I'm feeding it every 2 hours. I'm getting up at night 3 or 4 times during the night and feeding this
For
thing
the
out.
thing that you don't know what it is
Didn't
yet.
know what it was. I thought it was maybe a beaver or something.
A
I don't know.
chupacabra.
Yeah. It
Chupacabra.
fucking turns out to be a squirrel.
I thought it was a chipmunk at first. That's what got me
Yeah.
fired up.
So we buy this armoire, an old armoire, and I put a bubble window in it and drill a bunch of holes in it and make it a condo for him. And so Todd turned out to be a girl, and we're very sensitive about our pronouns. So we figured we would let her choose her gender when she was old enough. But she's in the wild now. She's chilling out with all the other squirrels.
Are you serious?
You
Yeah,
released
yeah.
her?
Does she
Yeah.
come back?
Yeah, well, we see her. She's still around the yard,
Yeah.
but she started sleeping on the deck. We moved her house out on the deck, and then she would venture out further. She'd be up the trees messing with the woodpeckers, and then all of a sudden one day she was just didn't come home to bed. So we see her up in the trees and bouncing around, but she doesn't come home. So that's the story of Todd. Never thought I'd be raising a squirrel, but
So Todd, the he/her squirrel.
yeah, they, them, he, her,
She, he.
whatever. Yeah. 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 But I'm feeding this. We had to go to Flagstaff for a concert, and this was like a week after we found her, so I had to take her with me. Shoebox and feed her. Do a shot, feed her.
I just get random text messages of just a squirrel video. This little thing running around, no comments, just pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's a
Little
squirrel.
Todd.
Todd.
That's Todd. Yeah. That's my life right there.
Todd. Fucking Todd.
Not glamorous at all, just squirrels.
Before we get to listener questions, we got to do our standard stuff. This is gonna be a little awkward because you flew here, so I know there's probably not much in your pockets.
Yeah, especially because I basically drove from the airport to here, but I do have a couple things in there.
All right, well, it's time for a
Came
pocket
prepared.
dump. Let's do it.
Oh, yeah, I only have 2 things in here. This.
Ooh, solid
The
pull.
juke-
The
Jukebox.
jukebox.
That's my go-to. I don't know. I've had that thing for years, but
I think all
Have you-
three
have
of
you
us
got
have
it-
that one.
Yeah, have you got
Do
it
you really?
loosened up?
Yeah.
not really.
Yeah.
Pretty stiff. Oh, is yours just like?
No,
No,
I've
we're
been
trying to get
oiling it
there.
up. It's a cool.
Ah.
It's a super cool knife. I love.
I just like the
knife.
look of it. Like,
Yeah.
You got to polish the bushings in it, and it'll get loose.
all right.
I know y'all make fun of me about that. I'm serious.
I'm gonna drop mine off.
You guys have those?
I got
Yeah.
the black mother of pearl handle.
I got the exact one, the tortoise.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I've
Love
got
I
it.
thought I
I've
was
got
trying to be all cool.
I've
and
got
you
the
guys
Oh,
are-
tortoise
you,
as
no,
well.
you are cool because
No.
that's a rad
You
knife.
fit into the cool guy club.
Yeah.
Ah,
And
sweet.
a cleaver blade shows you like nice things.
That's where it's at.
Yeah,
And
distinct.
they just
general-
So I did
badass.
good. I
Yeah,
did good.
fuck
You did great.
100%.
And
Where was that on the flight?
what's that? Oh, it was in my check bag. Yeah,
It was in prison,
with the bottle,
prison
with the bottle of
wallet.
whiskey.
Yeah, it was in prison wallet.
That's what I was doing downstairs, cleaning it up.
Available at Blade HQ.
Yeah, it is.
Yep. And yeah, just this. I think there's something. It's just an old piece of paper I have
Oh, somebody sent you a little special
on the
note.
other side. I think there's something written on.
what's it say?
Just a piece of paper I randomly had in my pocket.
Oh, go ahead, share for the rest of the
Does it
class.
say where's my fucking shocks?
Yeah, I don't know if it's appropriate.
Yeah, probably not appropriate for this one.
Just
Okay.
let it be an inside joke.
Yeah.
Uh,
And that's it. That's all I got in my pockets.
what is favorite car movie and why?
Oh gosh. Well, I've seen American Graffiti 1,000 times, literally 1,000 times. And then probably Blues Brothers, which wasn't really a car movie, but it has one of the best car chases of all time.
Most expensive too.
Yeah.
Cop
yeah.
tires, cop
Cop
shacks.
shacks. Yeah, the year before catalytic converters. So
First reference I think for this season.
Blues
of
Brothers?
Blues Brothers. Great fucking reference.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's the first.
yeah, one of my all-time favorites.
It's a good one.
Yep. So
The Aretha Franklin scene at the
Oh.
fucking diner. That's
so many
it's a
scenes.
great fucking movie. I'm gonna have to
So-
go back and watch it again. It's been
It's a good
years since
movie.
I've seen it.
Yeah, so many scenes. I don't know. I go back to the old ones, Bullet, things like that. But American Graffiti probably.
So,
I know it's cliche, but
all right, so what's the American out of all American Graffiti? What's the favorite scene or line in that movie?
probably is that piss yellow or puke green. I don't know. That's
I'll
just,
bet you got to sneak up on it just to get a little gas. In the pump.
yeah. I think that lines. There's so many good
Yeah.
lines in that movie.
Field car.
Yeah,
Field
Yeah.
car.
yeah. Even the stuff Toad said, and
Yeah.
but yeah, that line, just Harrison Ford just like lays it down, like
We might have to do a Mystery Science Theater version of like watching American Graffiti. Just like the back of our heads.
Yeah,
Referencing.
reaction video.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Remember-
I think it's great. Have you guys been asked the question?
Yeah,
What-
I mean, you're going
don't
back
know.
like
I
a
don't know if
year.
we've ever answered.
We've talked about it, and it's very difficult because I don't know what I said a year ago, or what. It's hard to land on a
It's
number
a hard one,
one.
isn't it?
2-lane
Yeah.
blacktop. You like 2-lane blacktop?
Love 2-lane blacktop. I love the made-for-TV movie from the '70s called Hot Rod. That was a
Mm.
'65 Coronet,
Mm-hmm.
and you remember that movie? There was
I do.
Yeah, Willie's Gasser.
Mm-hmm.
That was super cool. I mean, Dazed and Confused is like the anthem for my generation. Like, we grew up on that.
I watched that fucking
Yeah.
5 million times. I
Mm.
think.
That was more on like just general day to day trying to be cool when we were kids and like living that. Like, that was so rad. But 2-lane blacktop, it's hard to get any cooler
Yep.
than that. Hollywood Nights is bitching. I mean, I
Hollywood
love
Nights is
Hollywood
awesome.
Nights.
Do you remember Corvette Summer? Did you see it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, super cheeseball, but like,
Corvettes. I mean, I even got into like the Hot Rod Gang and all that, like those 40s, 50s
mhm.
black and white movies. I was
Yep.
such a old school hot rod nerd.
Yep.
Way back in the day.
there was a movie about drag racing. What the hell?
Drag strip derelicts or
No,
Next.
it was one particular funny car that they focused on, and I can't remember the name of the car.
Funny Car Summer. That was one too, just like Corvette Summer.
Uh,
They came with really original names.
It was the next summer,
Yeah.
year after.
Yeah.
yeah, but it was basically based on a Top Fuel funny car team and what they all went through, and it was like just a great movie. Hooper, did you ever watch Hooper? Burt Reynolds. He's a stuntman. He had
Oh,
a square body.
That was
a s-
Richard Rawlings talked about that. Hooper one.
Yeah, he had a 4-wheel drive, square body, step side 4-wheel drive, and one of the scenes in the movie was he drove it. He did a full on e-brake backwards, drove backwards at 60 mile an hour. There's like
Nice.
blonde chicks in the back drinking beer, and then he Rockford Files it around and goes the other way. So it was really cool. That reminds me, I built a Rockford Files clone car for Bill Burr. Yeah, like that. Yeah,
The gold
awesome.
yeah, the gold one.
Firebird Trans Am.
Yeah, Trans Am with a 400 in it and all the good stuff. I built it like it had the big motor, but it was the dummied down version of the car. He said because Rockford couldn't afford the Formula 400 or whatever with all the scoops and wings and things. He said like
The sleeper version.
yeah, Gardner, the actor was like, I don't think that character could afford the fancy car, but he wanted the big motor. So they built it as an Esprit and then put the bigger motor in it. So pretty neat.
Not movie, but TV show, because that's what my era was Chips, and Fall Guy.
Fall Guy. Yeah.
Chips and Fall Guy
And
was
Cheers.
How are you?
the shit. And then
Friend.
movie-wise, Days of Thunder. Days of Thunder. Was,
Oh,
Yeah, just the intro scene to Days of Thunder. Like there is nothing.
Days of Thunder was Top
Yep,
Gun for
yeah.
cars. I mean,
Mhm.
it was
Yeah.
just
Same
soundtrack.
actor. I don't know if you do that.
I appreciate it. Thanks for the fact check on that. But Chips, I mean, for not be a car show,
Mhm.
the amount of cars that they had, the wrecks, the opening scene of Chips, I mean, that was like, I loved
How is
Chips.
Dukes of Hazzard not on there for you?
Dukes of Hazzard was, yeah, but it's a little cliche being from Alabama.
It's
I
racist.
didn't want to go that way.
It's
That's
racist.
Hazard County, Georgia, though.
Yeah, it was. I was huge, and Chips, I mean, Chips, Fall Guy, Dukes of Hazzard, and A-Team.
That's your
Where-
3 o'clock to 5 o'clock when you get home from school.
Yeah, exactly.
Hazard County, where's that in relation to like the Florida border? Like if there's like a line between
North.
like Hazard, Georgia, and
North
then
of
like
that.
where Florida was.
I'm telling you something. First of all, you bring up Florida Georgia line again, and you're bringing it up in the same sentence as fucking Dukes of Hazzard.
Fight.
Yeah.
Fight.
I can get behind you on that one.
Yeah, that's
I apologize.
not
for
even
that.
the same.
I didn't mean to take-
What if
I
they
didn't mean to
did
take
the
Dukes of
theme
Hazzard
song?
name and fame?
Well, first of all, if you're saying
Florida
that
Georgia
Florida
Line
Georgia line,
redid the theme song.
Now that's just goddamn disrespectful because that's a Waylon Jennings song,
fuck,
right?
it never showed his hand. I mean, never showed his face,
Face.
on TV.
Yeah, it's just his hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember pausing Fall Guy in mid jump and being like, fuck that. This is a totally different truck. 3/4 ton, or it has like a different trim on it, or like, it's totally different.
To answer your question, there'd be the only thing that Shooter could do for redemption would be to whip Florida Georgia Line's ass if they were to do a remake of the Dukes of Hazzard theme song. Then I could get on Shooter's bandwagon. Like, yeah, that's right. Kick their fucking ass.
I hope nobody does a newer version of that.
No, you can't.
No.
Yeah.
Nope. Agreed.
Your picture is probably still one of the coolest things I think I've ever seen.
Oh,
That when we were at your house.
the painting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
painting.
That's the best.
Dude,
Right.
that almost like changed careers for me because I saw that and I'm like, I need to do this for a living.
Still to this day, how many times
Yeah.
do we end up someplace you're like, that's the fucking paint. We need to steal that.
Yeah.
You think we can get it out?
Like,
Uh,
because if you could get that picture, but have like Evil Knievel jumping. The
That's
creek.
so amazing.
you,
So
you don't have that on your Instagram?
I don't. I should repost it. For those who don't know, obviously, I stole a painting out of a cheap motel of a creek. It was like a oil painting of a creek in a forest, sort of. I guess they're like, those big, not oak trees, aspens.
So petty theft.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. Well, it was funny because I
It's
took
probably only worth $5.
I took the painting off the wall in the foot. They didn't even paint where the painting was. It's different
Paint
color where
around
the
it.
painting was. So I had to go into the hallway and steal another one to put over top of that thing. So then I throw it in the truck or whatever. And I knew as soon as I seen it, I knew what I wanted. And then I told my tattoo artist, I said, "Can you paint?" Because he painted a lot. "Can you paint a General Lee jumping over this creek? I want like a log shitty wooden ramp, and then just put the car on there like it was painted by the same artist." And he did it, and it fucking is perfect.
It's fucking awesome.
And so he put his name, like there was the Robert Woods or whatever, and then it says and James Tex. And I've been offered a lot of money for that painting.
I mean,
That's priceless.
Do
I
you
think.
realize like the potential for that?
Oh, dude, I already have him doing another one for me years later. So it's a barn in an old hayfield, and it's at dusk, and so I had him paint a X-wing fighter. Parked beside the barn. You could just see the back of it sticking in the wings on an X fighter are out, and there's patinaed and it's got some shit hanging off of the wings and stuff. And then, but it's super subtle. And then in the sky, because it's dusk, you can see the Death Star, just barely in the
Ghosted
clouds.
in.
Yeah. So this is a
Such a great concept.
neat
It's
thing to
fucking
do.
awesome.
Yeah.
I find I poke around estate sales and stuff, and I'll see paintings, and I look at them like every time I think of that General Lee painting them, I'm
Have a
looking at them thinking of all the
cigarette boat coming
all the
around the
different
corner.
things you could do.
Yeah. Well, if you have a friend that's a decent painter or whatever,
Yeah.
just hand it over to him. Give him your idea. As stupid as it is.
Have a 14-year-old wrecking on a fucking big red 3-wheeler.
Yeah.
Just ragdolling.
20 feet in the air. Just fucking- Yeah, that's awesome.
It's time for listener questions. You ready?
Dun, dun, dun.
If you want your listener questions read on the show, send them our way on Instagram at RoadsterShop or at Oil and Whiskey Podcast.
Are we getting a decent amount?
We are. Yeah, we are getting some. We got some good ones right now. Are you guys ready?
I'm ready.
Listener questions.
That's good.
Yeah, I know.
Dude, it's crazy. Like how you just have a natural ability to do that.
Why don't you have the keyboard with the different
Yeah.
sound effects?
I've been asking Ironclad. It's their fucking problem. They need to give me some. I need some sound effects.
Yeah.
They're clipping your wings.
I need
So
the old
that-
Casio, whatever the.
There's
the
so much
keyboard is.
potential here.
That literally just comes out of nowhere for you. Like you can just.
No, dude, that's just a
You
tip.
would, you would think there's hours of preparation
That's
behind
just the
that.
tip.
Can you
of
do it again?
creativity.
Can you do it again off the?
No, it's just one and done.
It's gone.
First question up. Do you guys do shop tours ever? We're reading them as they're given them. Not the best English sometimes, but
Yes.
shop tours.
Was
we
that
do,
a question?
Yeah.
We do.
Question mark?
We do shop
Yes.
tours
Ron Burgundy.
probably 2 or 3 times a week. The sales guys are giving shop tours. Guys stop in if they're picking up chassis or stop in if they're traveling through. We had Lou's Garage the other day. He's got that on Instagram at Lou's Garage. He's got that bump side Ford. Built it in memory of his wife. He's already got 30-something thousand miles on it in like
He's been to
So
like a
cool.
10
couple,
or 12 months.
Yeah,
Spec
8 to 10
chassis.
months. Yeah.
Shop tours are important. Note to tourists though, they are also called time bandits. So in Burbank, we would have to be very careful of this and have a specific group that would take people on tours. Because if they talk to a fabricator, then it's a time bandit.
Yep.
So you want to be a tourist,
Yep.
you don't want to be a time bandit.
Yep. Come on in. We'll show you around. But
Anytime.
be respectful.
That's right.
Yep.
Next up, this is a weird one. What could be your odd car to build and still look awesome?
I think we got one in process right now, the AMX, one that most people wouldn't pick as the go-to muscle car, but doing a lot of really cool stuff to it, and I think it's be a pretty badass car when it's done.
The look awesome is fairly generic because you can take a really shitty designed car and do some cool things to it, and it's cool because it's so ugly.
Yes.
Doesn't mean that it looks awesome and it's the most well designed. It's cool because of what it is.
And it's eye of the beholder too.
Yeah.
Cool is different to a whole lot of different
I've
people.
for years wanted to do a like mid-engine AMC Marlin. I just thought it would be cool the way the Marlins are. You could put that motor in the back.
Did you call it like the inline 6 underglass?
You can do that. Recently though, I think that it would be cool if you had the right customer and the right budget to do the Lamborghini, the
Jalpa.
No, the Rambo, the LP
LM,
002 or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was 1986, but make it perform like it should with modern technology, but very 80s, almost kind of like we did with the Grand National and the very mid 80s style Lambo.
It's cool. It's a cool truck.
Make it have some, suspension travel and do everything right, but in the graphical display and shit like that. I think that would be fucking cool.
It would be.
It
Like
would
I
be
said,
cool.
It's an odd looking vehicle.
You know
but
who's
could
into
be
those?
cool.
Bobby. Bobby likes them.
Really?
Yeah.
They're fucking
They're
rare.
neat, yeah.
They're super fucking rare. But you do
I think
one of
like
those.
for a while they couldn't give them away, and then they've kind of come back to being popular and
We
rare.
used to see them when we'd go to the dunes in Michigan when we were kids, and they were everywhere.
Wait, dunes in Michigan?
Yeah. Silver Lake Dunes.
Really?
Yep.
Any elevation? Like pretty good? Pretty good size?
I mean-
Not coming from like Glamis or
Right, but
Pismo,
still.
But yeah, but it's sizable. I think what's it like 600 acres total?
it's like 3 miles by 4
not
miles
huge.
That's
square.
awesome.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
very
Big
cool. Like right
sandbox.
on the shore in Lake Michigan, borders Lake Michigan.
Interesting.
Very cool.
You know
Get
who
a
else?
sweet picture of me when I was 4 years old on that Yamaha Trizinger, just sending a rooster tail way up in the air.
I want to see
Yeah,
that.
it's
Please
cool
send
pic.
that to me.
You know who else had a Rambo Lambo?
Who's that?
Uday Hussein, Saddam Hussein's son. Yeah, and then the
Who cares?
United States, the Marines blew it up for a roadside bomb testing situation after we got it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well
that's,
done,
that's
boys.
pretty cool.
Well done, boys.
So if anybody else there wants to build a LP 002 Lambo from 1986, I think that'd be fucking cool. staying in that mid 80s vibe, you know, but having some travel and some power.
Get to the chopper.
Next up, what's the hardest skill set to hire in your industry?
I'd say, I mean, it's got to be metal shaping.
Work
Yeah.
ethic.
Well, yeah. Yeah,
We have to finish this, boys.
absolutely.
Oh yeah, we're gonna kill it.
We're
Well
pretty
on our
damn
way.
close.
Yeah, I'd say, I mean, that's a good point.
Metal
Yeah.
shaping
Yep.
was massive.
Metal shades, I mean, finding guys that have a lot of high-end experience from a paint and body standpoint is very difficult because that's an unusual trade.
Oh, thank you.
Little bit of an unusual trade, I feel like, on the body work side of doing things to a high level. What do you think, Josh?
Body work at the quality level that it needs to be and the speed that it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
That's those two things together is something that's near non-existent.
That's something. I feel metalwork artists are increasing. We're seeing a lot of young guys that are just doing unbelievable stuff. Like you said, the paint and body. Well, both of you said that it's very, very, very hard to find. I don't know why. Is it just because it's a thankless job, or is it just?
It's it
Probably there's
kinda
no-
sucks to do. I mean, it really
There's no
does.
entry point. It's either you're in a body shop
Right.
or there's not many hot rod shops hiring a no experience. I'm going to teach you from nothing.
Right.
Because you fuck up a 1,000-hour paint job, that's another 1,000 hours to repair it and redo it. So it's
But
hard
there's
to gain entry.
the actual act of doing it. There's no downtime. It's your balls to the wall, hard work, physical labor from daylight to, sun goes down. Like,
Yeah,
no
and
matter
the
what
fun
you're
the
doing,
fun
it-
part's spraying it. You don't even get to do that, right?
Right.
You got to
Yeah.
hand it over.
Right.
To
Yeah, the painter gets all the glory.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's a lost fucking art. It really is.
Yeah.
To do it at the level it needs to be.
So paint and body. Is that final answer?
It's mine.
I think so. Yeah, I mean, honestly, more on the body side. I'd leave the paint out of that.
What about hosting a podcast?
You can get any
I
asshole
think
off the
that's an-
street
yeah,
to do that.
That's an unwanted skill.
Yeah, if the three of us can do it,
It doesn't take
anybody
much.
can do
Yeah.
it.
We're not even really doing it. We just like show up. We just
Yeah.
talk. We're not really doing
Sure.
anything.
We just bring on colorful guests,
Right.
that carry it
You're
through.
carrying
Carry
the
it
whole
through to
show.
the
Next up, best advice for getting your name out in the industry.
I feel like we've answered this a lot of different ways, or it's been asked a lot of different ways.
It's always same answer for most of them. Build something that's impressive and get out there and show it. That's your calling card, your business card. Show what you can do instead of telling people what you're going to do.
Or doing OnlyFans.
I was gonna say show your boobs.
Yeah.
OnlyFans is
That's a way to get
It
out
seems to
Pretty
change
good.
though. That
I don't
question
know if that's
seems
in our
to change
industry.
year to year.
there. I can weld really good and I can shape some metal. And by the way, here's my dick. Like
I don't know if the dick. I think the
Different.
this- oh, by the way, here's like my wife who's got beautiful.
Oh.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's
Okay.
I think that's where everybody else was.
Yeah.
maybe going with it.
Right.
Mhm.
That's what I said. Yeah.
Yeah.
Show your wife.
I know that's where you were. Yeah, you were gonna.
Yeah,
like,
it's
that
working
was-
into it.
Yeah, you were
Cool. Yeah.
stepping stones into.
No,
that,
I mean,
but-
we've said this. You got to have a business card. And the business card is whatever you can build,
Mhm.
whatever customer that you've got. I feel like it's a broken record. We talk about this all the time, but you donate everything you can possibly donate. You sacrifice everything you can possibly sacrifice. You take what the customer can give and you give the rest because that's your fucking business card. And
It's-
that's what you've got to get out there and what everybody's going to see.
It's an interesting conversation though, because I've looked at people that I do not respect and are doing things I disagree with, and they have millions of followers. So it's like, they have a bunch of attention for being perhaps, a villain or, just doing shady shit or the easy way. And they seem to sometimes get,
Well, they're known for
Clicks.
being characters,
sure,
not for
but views are views, I suppose, if that's the question. It's a tough one because our industry is really hard to get viewers, because any girl with gigantic tits can have 500,000 followers pretty easily, and it's we have to grind for our, followers and our views and, our likes, and
They
it's
gotta grind
super,
for
super
theirs,
hard.
too.
Yeah, they do. That's true. Yeah. I haven't figured it out, so I don't know.
I think there's a difference between followers, air quotes,
Yes.
and
customers.
100%. 100%.
My
You've
thought
got
is,
something.
my
You got
thought is
something.
that, like, I'm wondering if, like, we're sounding like a broken record with the whole, like, thrash, give it away, do it for free, get it out there, make it your, billboard, make it your business card. Is that just us being like dinosaurs? At this point, is there another?
We maybe
Is-
don't know what it takes in 2022.
Right.
We just know what it took fucking 20 years ago.
It's changing
Yeah.
so fast.
But everyone we've talked to is done the same way, right? They built a car and donated a whole bunch and busted their ass to get it there. How did you get noticed? What was your first build?
Got lucky. Built some cars for the right people, and they reposted it, and then it went.
But how did you build them for the right people? Like, you obviously, like, I guess here, what I'm getting at, what my initial thought was that a lot of it's like character and personality,
Yeah.
and like you've got to generally be like a decent human being. There's this industry
Yes.
brings great people, phenomenal people, very, people who are very true, and it also brings some shady, fly by night individuals.
And
Yeah.
who would those be?
Yeah, mate. So, like I was
Those guys.
saying, I think that generally people, thrive on relationships, and
Personality.
anybody that we're dealing with, people are
Gotten you this far.
right. Our customer base is all very successful, self-made people they made their living. They've built a career out of using their judgment of,
Right.
what kind of people are they surrounding themselves?
I
with,
agree.
you know what I
agree
mean?
with what you're saying. You still, once that door is open, you have to do what you say you're going to do, whatever
Sure.
it takes.
Yeah.
If you say you're going to do X, whatever it takes to get to X, you can't be like, hey, I got to Y,
Mhm.
Or whatever comes before X, and
Z.
No, Z's comes after. Yeah. X and then Y comes after. Whatever. You know what I'm saying. But you can't get to that point and be like, hey, guess what? We had a great relationship. You came to me for a great personality. I told you I could build it for X amount of dollars, and I can't. So I'm going to need some more money. You know what I'm saying? To build it to what I want to be.
Right.
I 100% agree with what you're saying. It sounds like a broken record. You've got to be able to get out there. Nothing's going to be given to you, no matter how badass you think you are and all that kind of stuff. You've got to fucking work for it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's different now. The only advice we can give is what we went through.
I don't think it's much different, and I guess I shouldn't have said I was lucky, because I guess there isn't anything like that's not luck.
Right.
You're
Make your
working. You're making your own luck.
Yeah.
For sure. So just being humble and just getting, doing grinding and doing my thing. But I think now it's much easier to get it. There's just, I guess, different avenues.
Yep.
Now with Instagram and social media,
It's a lot easier to get exposure, get in front of people.
there's a lot of ways to do it.
Yeah.
Latch onto somebody or do a thing that's spectacular or cause some drama. I mean, I know some people that just cause drama all the time, and they have a bunch of followers for it. It's just like, ugh.
Well, the biggest difference, though, I don't think the path is any different now versus then. The difference is the patience level. I don't know if we had more patience or we were too fucking stupid to know the difference, but I think that now it seems like a lot of newer guys don't have the patience. It's like, well, I'm building my first car.
Mhm.
Notice me, and I want everything
Here
now.
I am.
Right here I am. And
Where's my SEMA spot?
right? It doesn't come fucking overnight.
Yeah.
20 years later, we're still fucking working just as fucking hard.
Yeah.
Am I wrong in that?
No,
Like,
you're right with that.
like it's the patience, I think, is the biggest part of it.
I think the less
it's not work hard for that one, and then if you don't get what you thought you were going to get, let me tell you
Throw a
something
temper
right
tantrum.
now. You're never, ever going to get what you think you're going to get
Yeah.
after a car build. Ever.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
Ever.
Ever.
maybe stop thinking about it. Maybe just stop thinking
Yeah.
Is
about
that
it.
customer
Just
happy?
get back to
And
work.
just work.
Did you give that customer everything and more
Yeah.
than he thought?
That's right.
Dude, I think
Then you
like,
won.
I think
honestly, if you like pull all this bullshit out of it, and you guys are kind of inadvertently touching on it, like we never ever thought about anything.
right.
There was never like we want to be here, or we want to do this, or we want this build, or we want this customer, or we want to be in this magazine or here. It was simply like just focus on
Creating.
creating, and whatever
something
we're
cool,
doing right now,
better than the last
do
one.
it the best you can possibly do.
Yep.
And
Hope you can do better the next one.
And it's organic.
Yeah.
And you cannot beat anything that's made organically
Right.
like that.
yeah, I think if you try to like say like I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna win this award, or I'm gonna win the Riddler, I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, and it's gonna get me this, it's probably not going to.
Yeah.
Just
Right.
make this like the best you can possibly make it, and
Yep. True.
whatever comes will come.
And there's your answer.
That's it. I
And
think
there's
we
also-
arrived at it, dude.
Yeah,
That
it
one
took a
little
while to get there.
I think we,
It's,
Amen.
we-
But there's
matriculated.
also, there's also OnlyFans. Just,
yeah, no, if at the end of the day, if
Right.
it doesn't
Yeah.
work out, that's
Right.
Yeah,
that's
just
a
show your butthole.
right.
100,000 followers.
Yeah. Look what it's done for Josh. I mean,
Yeah.
telling you what, you wouldn't think that there'd be a fan base.
Oh yeah.
There is.
Dude, my wife told me to do it years ago. Babe,
It's so
I don't
easy.
mind if you jerk off at night on the computer in front of whoever. I'm like, what?
yeah, he started with feet and he's just kind of gone up.
Yeah,
literally.
he brings up some weird shit.
Show your butthole. That should be a sticker. That
Yeah.
should be a bumper
That's gonna be
sticker.
a T-shirt.
I think they've
That's
got
gonna be a
hats.
T-shirt.
They've got hats.
I'd love to take credit for that, but I think that goes back to a mentor that really helped us in this industry of Race Frutasuli.
Yeah.
Let me see that butthole.
Yeah, Race was a
That's how he said it?
Yeah.
Bajo.
yeah, it's like that.
Next question. Your favorite project so far?
The Mr. Gasket Suburban, probably for me, and it's not because it's the greatest.
It's because it had a Bigfoot gas pedal in it.
No, no, it was just it was a very cool project that brought a lot of cool people together, and everybody rose to the occasion when we did it. Had a lot of talent on it. It was a project that me and my dad have worked over the years together in the garage, but behind the scenes, the father and son working together was always like what the fuck are you doing, Dad? Like, give me that. I'll do it because I'm gonna do it right, But that was an opportunity where he lent his woodworking skills in a project, but he would call me over because he was working at home in his wood shop, making all the floor pans and everything out of like teak. And I guess I don't know what you'd call it, but it was like teak, and you'd caulk, the seams. It would be like, the floor of a sport fisherman boat.
Mhm.
So that was just something that was super cool because the two of us really worked together, had an awesome time doing it. I used my metal shaping skills that I converted to woodworking skills of like, I use a grinder to shape wood. Like I do really cool stuff. And
Run a 2x4 through an English wheel.
well, yeah, not that, but like, yeah, it was just, it was
The
a
Yoder.
very, right. It was a very cool project. Me and my dad worked together on it, built some really cool stuff. John York stepped up and did some really cool like leather goods and things like that. And Chad was on board at the time and it was one of those things where like everybody was
Team
right.
effort.
Everybody was in that sweet spot where they were trying to do something that was a little bit different than what they were used to doing. If you were a metal shaper, like I'm a metal shaper, but I was doing stuff out of wood. And John was a sheet metal shaper, but he was playing with leather goods, and Chad was an all around guy, but he's, stitching all kinds of various, like made a crazy ass shift knob and was helping out on the upholstery side. And the upholstery guy was in house at that time helping out. It's not that it's the greatest car we've ever done, but it was just pretty cool. It's fun
Just to stand back and
Yeah.
watch
yeah.
everything.
Everybody
Everybody enjoying
Right,
themselves.
everybody do their thing, and
Yeah.
Charlie Hutton was,
Oh,
here helping out on the paint body side, and Boyd. Which Boyd? There's a lot of I get confused on the Boyd thing, but that was
I think I'm wrong, whichever one I say it was.
Chris
I
Cotting.
thought it was Chris Coddington.
or Boyd Jr. One of the Coddingtons was a part of that as well on the design side, to some extent. But it was just a fun project.
That's huge. Yeah.
What about you, Phil?
I was gonna say you go next.
Oh.
Go clockwise.
If I gotta pick one, years ago when I was still down south, we got the opportunity to build a 32 Roadster pickup for a great customer, Matthew Gordon, and it was a interesting chain of events of how the build came about. And then, of course, like every hot rod shop, we had a limited deadline or timeline and a deadline from what we said we were going to do, because we got all hyped up and excited with the customer and like, fuck yeah, we're going to do this. So then we had to actually, back to my point of the other one, we had to do what we said we were going to do. But the build and design direction to be able to do something that was a modern interpretation of a show rod, and there was no body of reference. There was no, there's nothing.
It was a cool car.
It was completely out of left field. Do whatever the fuck we wanted to do. There was a lot of great family history there with Matthew and his dad being an Oldsmobile guy. We ran the Olds motor, ran the Olds gauge cluster. So we did a lot of cool shit like that with blending in with the Ford. Cycle fenders and, chopped and channeled. Sectioned and channeled. A lot of cool, crazy shit in a short amount of time.
What year was that? What year?
It was Ford Grand National in
73 or 74.
2014, 2015, something like
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
It was same year that Troy Ladd had the Packard.
Okay.
Same year. So a little baby blue, a little Roadster pickup. And it was just a fun build. It was every little small little detail, sweating over little things. And that was where it was kind of digging through history and seeing what could have been, but then rewriting history in modern terms and trying to stay true to tradition. But I don't know. It wasn't the greatest, wildest, most crazy thing. It was a fun one. And if I had to pick right this very second, I'd probably say that it was a fun build to do.
Isn't that funny? It boils down to the memories and the enjoyment you got out of it. The build, not necessarily the end product.
Right.
Yeah. And I'd have to say the same thing. I was thinking this whole time, and then you mentioned your father, and I was like, I'd have to say the same thing. I built a 63 Impala on 4 pumps, 8 batteries, 13-inch Daytons, wrapped the frame and did the whole lowrider thing, and took it to my dad's place, and we did the final assembly there. And yeah, by far, now that I think about it, the funnest, most important build I've ever done. Not because the car was anything cool. It was just another Impala SS with all the lowrider shit on it.
Yeah.
But it was just the amount of fun I had with my dad. Yeah.
That's awesome.
We got to build a lowrider one of these days.
Oh,
That's
man.
on the bucket list.
Like a
Training day,
yes,
G-body.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I
It's fun.
love that.
It's super
hop.
fun.
I've been talking about it for years to be able to G-body, 13s, pull 3-wheel around a corner in the hood, blasting Waylon Jennings is.
Where the fuck does Waylon Jennings? I'm a huge Waylon Jennings fan.
Yeah,
right?
I know, because it's
We're
kinda
right
like,
with you.
what-
And then
Where does that?
Because it's a
fall
fish
in
out of
line?
water, right?
Exactly.
It's like going to the Lone Star
Okay.
Throwdown in Texas, that truck show, right? I'm standing there. I see this big donk 4-wheel drive with 24 by 100 inches wide tires. Like, the goofiest things I've ever seen. A white guy in there with a cowboy hat and chew in, cranking like Drake or something.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
There's just something about when because instantly your human brain starts connecting all the dots.
Yeah.
Until that thing happens, you're like, what the fuck?
Where am I?
What was he listening to? Yeah, and it's just,
Dude,
it's
when
just
I-
fun,
so-
something funny about it.
The lowrider thing, that's at some point in time I will have like a legit lowrider, because that to me is like one of my early childhood memories. My dad was in the body shop business, and as a kid I would go there, a young kid, you're talking like 8, 9, something like that, and some badass Mexican dudes like in the back, and everybody had some sick lowriders. So I remember we'd talk, and they'd tell me like I'd bring my 1/24 scale cars in, and they would like mod them up for me and like paint them and stuff and always talk about it. They had like crazy over the top low. I mean, you're talking like legit lowriders.
Attention to detail.
Yeah, velour interiors, full hydros, crazy over the top paint jobs. And that was like, those were my first memories of like hot rods and custom cars. Like full blown legit lowriders. So
you need to ride in one. They're aggressive. Like you get 48 volts. It like compresses your spine. You're like,
oh, they'll shoot.
Yeah. I remember I was like charging the batteries separate because I didn't have the right charger, and doing up the battery cables, and they're all wired in parallel or series, I should say. I was doing up the ground, I think, in a like 1/2-inch wrench or whatever. And I touched the wrench to the quarter panel. Ooh. And the wrench just disappeared. I just had I had 2 white spots on my hand, and the rest of my hand was black. And I was like, where'd the wrench go? It's gone.
Contrary to popular belief, like you watch them, you'd think they'd ride good. They don't ride good.
That's weird. Yeah, because that's the one thing I always
You always thought.
I had 2-ton coils in mine.
Man, pulling 3-wheel is harder than you think.
Yeah, my springs were like that big around.
Pulling 3-wheel is not just like you hit a switch and it does it. Like it's fucking difficult.
Yeah, it will if you set it up right. I think I had like 14-inch cylinders in the back of mine, so it had no choice but to stand on 3. But I remember I was at a car show and I just parked my car in 3-wheel, parked it there like that, and I come up on it just to check on it, and there's some guy taking a picture of his daughter, and she's laying underneath the car.
Yeah, not the best idea.
I'm like, the only thing holding that car up is an O-ring that I can slide over my finger. So I put the car down for the rest of the show.
What about you?
I'm gonna go more of a raw feel and enjoyment side and go with Matt 70 Chevelle right there. Again, it wasn't anything insanely over the top, but it just kind of hit everything for me. And every time we had the car back here, he shipped up here to do a couple of road tours with and get in it and drive it and just put a huge smile on my face. And it was timeless. It was classic, but it was all modern on the performance and drivability side. It had that perfect horsepower to tire size ratio where first, second gear, anywhere you stand that, it'll burn the tires off. But if you wanted to get in and make it hook up, it'll go and just put you back in the seat. It was an absolute blast to drive, a pleasure just to cruise around in. And going back to the days of Dazed and Confused, you just felt like you were Wooderson, like driving around like a badass in there.
I might want to change my answer. I'll go back to Matt's car. That fucking car is cool.
Well,
I can't believe he sold it.
Yeah.
Horrible decision. Matt sells a lot of really cool shit, unfortunately. There's
to be such a successful
blue and white
guy,
C10 that he sold.
Makes stupid decisions. Horrible decisions.
Before that car went on to its next owner, Josh and I had the privilege of, on the last road tour, I was following you in the spec Camaro.
Yeah.
And Josh had super glue on the tires at that point. Whatever you did with that, like, we found this sweet spot. Where were we? It was coming out of the tail of the Dragon.
Yeah, we were south of wherever that spot is in North Carolina, and probably about an hour south of Tail of the Dragon, wherever that road is. We got to running. We probably put 25 miles on the rest of the pack.
Easily.
Because we stopped for a long time to wait.
And what car were you in, this one?
I was in that one.
He was in
Josh
that one.
was ahead of me in the spec 69 Camaro. And he's just going, it was a 4L60 auto 430 horse.
I was by
LS.
myself. He was by himself. I was leading for navigation purposes or whatever it was. There's probably 8 or 10 of us in a run.
And you just felt it. And you just
and
went.
for some reason,
it just felt right.
It were bad influences. So if I took a turn pretty aggressively,
I'm in his bumper.
He's on the bumper.
Yeah.
So the next one, a little bit harder.
And one-upsmanship.
So then it just keeps going and going and going. And I mean, then you just get into it. I mean, I don't even know where we're going. Phone is thrown in the floorboard, and now we're on it. And it is, I swear, you're right. That is probably the most fucking fun for a long period of time.
Yeah, I drove that like it was like 24 hours of Le Mans.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, heel toe downshift, and we're just barreling into corners.
I'm in a like you said, a 4L60.
Yeah.
And the margin of error was like that because, those were like,
It wasn't a little
road with
wipeout. Anything
right.
was
Catastrophic.
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
We were gone.
But- you just
Seatbelt off.
Yeah,
You're
but-
dying with the car.
And you weren't
but you
you
had-
weren't invited on this little.
I was on
He
the
was
road
back
tour. I
on
was
something
probably
else.
driving the Legends truck at that time, I think.
but you just had so much confidence in it. It's
Yeah.
not like we were pushing it, but we weren't like pushing it. The car still had. I was driving it to the extent of my driving abilities.
But your
the
heart
car
rate was
had a
up.
lot-
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. The car had a lot more in it still.
Oh, that's something about that Camaro, that spec Camaro. It's
That's
especially with that
that's an
460.
anomaly, dude.
You drive it as
For
hard
a
as you possibly
460.
can. You go in like 2/3 in the turn and step on the brakes, and that thing sits. And as soon as the back end goes like
It
this,
just-
fucking good, you're back in it, and every single time. And you start getting that confidence in it. It doesn't matter what the camber is, what the turn is, what grade it is, whatever you do the
that
same
car's a
thing
freak.
over and over and over,
Mhm.
and it's just like, fuck yeah.
Yep.
I mean, we had a fucking blast.
That's what it's all about, right?
Yeah.
But then, like you said, we get so far ahead of the rest of the pack, and we've had to have gone. No exaggeration. This was 30 minutes straight, at least.
Yeah.
And so it's finally we kind of like we get to a clearing and there's like a little creek or whatever. We like pull over because we know everybody else is coming, and you pull over and it's like
Hurts it.
Pretty cool, huh?
oh,
Pretty cool, huh?
you were driving fast. Like you were driving fast. Like I
But
had
I
to
can't
go
believe
because
you were keeping up with me. Like,
Yeah, fuck yeah. That was.
Did
fun
we
time.
just become best friends?
Yes.
Next up, well, I should have pre-read these. How is Josh feeling knowing that Florida Georgia Line have played their last shows ever?
Drastically disappointed, and he's waiting for the comeback tour.
I didn't know that they had played their last shows ever.
Because you would have been there.
Well, it doesn't make any sense because
I don't think they have.
for a duo, one of them can't sing, and the other one sucks. You would think that they would have lasted longer than they have.
I mean, I'll say the thing, like what Josh communicates with me, I'll speak for Josh on this, is that, he's such a fan, but, it's not
They'll
like,
play on forever in his mind.
yeah, like for a lot of music enthusiasts, you would love to hear your favorite band live, right? Like I've seen the Rolling Stones live. It's fucking awesome. Mick Jagger just fucking rips it up. I mean, Florida Georgia Line, for Josh, their studio recordings are where it's at, right? I mean, they're so
Polished.
at least what I hear from him, it's just the way they put it together in the studio. It's so good.
Oh yeah,
That-
auto-tune.
I
the
don't
fuck
think
out of that
right.
shit.
I don't think that if they're breaking up, if they're just like if it's a mutual agreement to just not perform anymore, I don't think that has any effect because their studio recordings, their albums will live on forever.
Mhm.
For
And it's
Josh.
probably a marketing ploy. I wouldn't stress too much.
yeah.
they'll be back.
dude.
Yeah.
Don't
They'll
worry
be
about
back.
it. Like,
Don't worry.
yeah.
Do you feel like it's that kind of standard saying, like, never meet your idols because you'll be disappointed?
Mm.
Like, never see them live in concert because
No,
you
I
might be
think
disappointed?
that there's hundreds of other people I'd rather listen to. They suck.
Live?
They suck more than anybody. I absolutely cannot stand Florida Georgia Line, and the fact that this shit keeps getting brought up, that like I actually like Florida Georgia Line, dude. I'm glad they're fucking broken up. I hope they go fucking broke because they suck. They shouldn't have made a fucking living doing what they were doing, sounding as bad as they fucking sound.
I can't wait, dude. When we're
Dude, I hope either one of them show up right here in this
I-
fucking
Your
place.
ass.
I can't wait until it's Good Guys Nashville, right? And we've had a couple bourbons, and we're walking down. What's the street there?
Big
Whiskey
one?
Row.
Yeah,
Main
whatever.
Street.
Yeah, whatever it is,
Yeah.
Main Street. And out of FGL Bar and Grill comes
Florida Georgia Line bar.
Line. Comes the two of them.
And
They're broke up.
Josh gets fucking
Yeah,
knocked
but they're
out with a
still
Truly
business-
can.
They're still business partners.
What do you think I take? What do you think is
All 6 inches.
a,
Of
Dude.
the Truly can.
okay?
Maybe it's a White Claw. I don't know.
Here's the way I think this goes down. I think you take a combination of a denim / flannel hooded shirt
With a button on it?
that comes off and becomes a weapon,
Oh, if you
into
got a snap,
basically
you can't be
like
slinging a
Bruce
shirt with a
Lee
snap on it.
ninja form, and just ties you up, like right out in the open.
You're going to sit here and tell me that you think I'll get fucking choked out by either of the Florida-Georgia Line
Yeah, 100%.
boys?
No, I don't think it's a choke out. I think that it comes around you and they disable you like right out in front of everybody. So
Like
your
one of those
peers,
police holds where you're
Yeah,
like,
your
That's a
peers-
nightmare.
Yeah.
That's
Right,
a
your-
nightmare.
Your
Yeah.
peers all see it, at which point it just becomes like a full-on just ass whooping.
I hope they're fucking listening right now because they better be on fucking guard. Because to preemptive that situation, I'm whooping one of their asses. I'm going to find them in the next year.
Dude, I've Googled them before just for the sheer like point of making fun of you. It looks like the two, they work out, man.
All right.
They don't-
Next fucking question.
Dude, what if I order a RS4 chassis and the PO is FGL? What's gonna
Yep.
happen? Is
Josh
that
would have
chassis
to
gonna
schedule
get
that.
built? Is it gonna get
Front of the
built?
line.
I don't know
I
if it'll get built or
guarantee it.
Josh will just have a fucking shit fit up there and just throw it out. Who knows?
It may or may not get some
Yeah.
shit hidden in the frame rail. Is that a dick? Yep. Yeah.
Laser cut dick.
That's exactly a dick. Yeah. If you were wondering, that's a penis. All right. Next up, most unusual chassis request.
Phil Fields does. I feel like this is a Phil question. You get some
Yeah, we get a lot of them.
interesting ones.
Whenever they re-air the episode we were on Kindig, it blows up of a Chrysler Sebring rear-wheel drive with a Hellcat or
Whatever the current drive of the vehicle is, they
Yeah,
want to
change it.
swap it.
Yeah.
If it's front wheel drive, make it rear wheel. If it's rear wheel, make it front wheel. If it's no wheel, make it all wheel.
If it's all wheel, make it rear wheel.
Yeah.
If it's North Star, make it South Star.
Yeah. As far as unusual chassis we've built, we've done a lot of unique, cool, unusual stuff. We're doing a 1970 P10 step van shorty chassis right now being built. We've done a Rolls Royce for the Ring Brothers. There was a 1960 something Ferrari that we did a custom chassis for.
And some Mercedes for Vesquios, Bo Vesquios.
Yeah.
We're in a 54 Jag for Miranda right now.
I don't, at this point, I don't know how to answer this without sounding stupid, but there's none that's like wild. Like all of them, it's just different.
Well,
Yeah,
let's
there's
ask
so many
let's ask
crazy-
a question. What would make a crazy chassis? I mean, tandem rear axles or like,
You're not gonna fuck
I
with-
mean, like what?
Yeah.
Because 4 wheels and steering and a rear end. That's like you can pretty much make anything fit anything. There,
Somebody
right?
wanted to do a fucking Miata. I mean, that's obviously just sacrilege. You're not going to fuck with perfection.
I think
I
at
mean,
this
that's
point, to be honest
interesting-
with you, the only
interesting
thing that would
change in
throw me
direction.
for a loop that I would consider wild is if somebody wanted like a performance amphicar. I mean, we've done so much. I mean, I love doing the
Put like a
unusual
better
stuff.
outdrive on it or
Yeah,
something.
with like a
Like a
M-
Merc number 6 on the
you get like
back.
a number 6 or a M8
Yeah.
drive on the back of it, like something rad with a 1350 in it. But no, I enjoy doing all those unusual.
To your
chassis.
point, it's like you said, it's a now the Nash Metropolitan we did for Paul Atkins not too long ago. That was a weird one.
Yeah.
What was
That
it? Was it a Pro Street deal or?
No, it
No.
was more pro touring ish, and he
Yeah.
wanted some wheels and some lip. And I don't know if you know
It
those
was like a
cars.
go kart.
They're about
Shifter
as wide
car.
as this
Yeah.
table.
Yeah.
The,
Wow.
the coolest part about those chassis is when you see the finished product, because
You
sometimes
kick flip it.
well, no, sometimes you forget about them, and then we're at Columbus and we saw the finished Nash.
Yeah.
And it was they did it in like a wagon
Yeah.
form, dude, and it was a gorgeous car.
That's got to be so trippy for you guys to
It-
send us chassis out and you
so-
see it in
yeah.
SolidWorks.
Yeah.
And, cool. Good luck. And then you see it. Yeah,
Yeah,
like you said,
because
it
you
must
don't-
be so wild.
We do an awful lot of them, and you don't see all of them get completed. So seeing something like that was really, really cool. See it finished.
Yeah, that was a wild one.
What was the thing that Berman built from Lakeside? It's a
The
little.
Studebaker.
No, it wasn't a Studebaker. It was a little. Fuck, what was that thing?
Nudemaker? I thought it was
It was a Ute, and they turned it into a wagon.
Yeet?
Ute, Australian for
A Yeet?
utility.
Shit, what was that?
I think that was the question I asked you. It was one of those little fucking cars.
Yep.
Yeah.
Small ski. It was one of those small skis.
Good talk. Good talk, guys.
It's that
1972 small
Anyway,
ski.
dude, it's
Canadian
fucking
whiskey.
badass. Dude.
Yeah.
Check out Roger Berman at Lakeside Rods.
And next up, let's see, last but not least, do you guys have any cars going to SEMA this year?
Yeah, sure do.
End of answer.
That was a yes.
Absolutely.
We do.
We
What
got
do we have?
three going this year.
Trey?
Yes, Spanish for 3. We've got the Good Guys OBS truck that'll be out there. That is going right out front of the main door.
Right there at the front.
Outside. Yep.
Mhm. Right where you see it. Out there at the main entrance. Yeah, right out there at the front.
That'll be out there.
Entrance to South
something
Hall.
Is that blonde going to be hanging out with it all week?
maybe.
I mean, whatever.
Yeah,
We'll give you the introduction if she is. Yeah.
I don't care.
We caught a little bit of flack for that by
No,
some
you
people.
didn't.
You didn't get the emails.
Yeah, some people got pissed.
Yeah.
Karens?
Extremely
Shut up.
disappointed.
Yeah.
Not
Please.
mad, just disappointed.
Fill
Yeah.
me in.
We had one gentleman, Josh.
Yeah, I
Phil.
did.
Phil
Yeah, I filled
fielded
that one.
the email on this. He is not going to be purchasing the chassis, the potential chassis that he thought about purchasing.
Because we have resorted to, I forgot the words that he used, but pornographic and lewd material on our website.
Okay.
It was 1 or 2 videos. It was fairly.
These are guys that
Little
never
re-
had subscriptions to Sport Truck Magazine or Truckin' back in the day.
Or anything.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
Or have been on Instagram because that's 3/4 of what Instagram is.
Please tell me you looked this guy up. Like, what's his
I didn't
deal?
know. I tried the
We sent him a free chassis. Just kidding.
I went with the politically correct approach. Like it was something that we thought was kind of fun in the theme of the 80s and 90s truck magazines. It may have been a little bit much for some people, but everybody seems to love it. So
Wow.
I'm sorry it was outside of your taste.
Wow.
Check back in a week. We'll have a lot of other car related stuff
Well,
on
good
there.
for you
but-
for taking the high road, but man, that's disappointing.
If that pissed you off, stay tuned.
Yeah, watch one
Don't-
podcast.
Don't listen to the podcast.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
So what else for SEMA?
It's a little wild.
So we got OBS out front, entrance to South Hall or Central Hall or North Hall, whatever that hall is.
It will be there.
It's
The main
Central.
lobby.
It's Central, main
Yeah.
lobby. Yeah. Next up,
70 Chevelle. That's going in BASF's booth.
Yep.
That will be that's I guess kind of our hero car. It's something we've been working on for a long time, probably about 3 years in the making on it. It's a looking at the car right behind us, it's basically Matt Saxton's car on
Plus?
steroids. So
Turned up to 11
yeah,
in honor of Spinal Tap.
I think it's something we're pretty proud of it. Had kind of pulled out all the stops from a detail standpoint. Just an over the top car that still is very much just a 1970 Chevelle. So I think we did everything we can possibly do without taking it away from being a 70 Chevelle SS. So crazy detailed. I'm excited about it. It's at Avant-Garde right now.
and you're sure the 22s on the rear are going to work?
The 22s are on the front. So
Okay.
yeah,
Oh, probably.
with the 24s on the back. It's just it's a scaled version of like with a spoke concept
Okay.
of
All
the
right.
original Magnum.
I mean,
How did you pull off the under like the wheel well lighting?
We did it
And
white because the stripes are white. So
but it's a warm white.
yeah, it's like a
That day
soft,
glow.
right?
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
a 400 Kelvin. So,
Oh,
Right.
yeah, that's the
did
difference.
you use those like antique bulbs?
Yeah,
like those,
exactly.
Yeah,
Okay.
because you
It's an
Edison bulbs.
It's an Edison
Edison
bulb.
yeah,
The wheels are probably one of the cooler parts of the car.
they are. Yeah, Jesse Greening did them. Really, really cool wheel. It's got kind of a billet trim ring look on it, and it's
They machined
interesting
the whole
just,
outer
like,
hoop, right?
Yeah, sitting here staring at that car, that car was perfect, but this car's
Perfect-er.
Perfect-er. It's
That's a
so
serious
detailed.
booth too. I mean, that thing's gonna get some great exposure in there.
I hope so. Yeah. And,
What's next?
well, on that car too, we worked
Oh.
with Goolsby. Jonathan Goolsby sprayed it At the time, we were backed up. Reached out to Goolsby to give us a hand on the paint. Car We Body Works sent it over to them. So our buddies over there sprayed it out. Got a lot of good people involved. Jonathan on the paint, Jeremy Carlson on the interior, Jesse Greening helped out on the wheels. Just something that's going to be pretty bitchin'.
Little unveil debut at SEMA.
Sweet.
And third and final car,
The Grand National.
the GN.
Yeah, the old GN. That's the first time we're going to have a car in our own booth. So, yeah, we thought to ourselves, we're like, well, we park these cars in other people's booths because these other people are trying to drive traffic to their booth. So this is a pretty damn cool car. Well, let's just put it in our booth.
Good idea.
Yeah.
We finally got a big enough booth to be able to put a car
Yeah.
in as well. So
Right. But, yeah, that's a car. Hopefully, we got a few paint touch-ups and things to do on it because we've been
burning the tires off
romping
of
on it,
and-
having some fun with it. But it's a very usable, functional car that also, I think I hope it'll change the landscape a little bit to show people that the 80s stuff it's on and popping.
It's
It's
It was
happening.
fun.
Yeah.
So.
It's a fun project. It's definitely over the top for an 80s vehicle.
Bitchin'. Well, if I wasn't going to go to SEMA, I'm going to go now.
Are you going?
I will now.
You need to go.
I have to see
It's-
those cars.
It's close to home for you.
You're not bringing anything this year?
Nah.
No.
Nope. Just myself.
Well, just come and let's hang out.
Let's do it.
We can get drunk again
Let's
and
go.
not have to do this recording shit.
Drunker.
Yeah. Oh, we'll get drunkest.
Yeah, at least right now
Yeah.
we're trying to keep it together. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm in.
All right.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Thanks, everybody, for listening to Oil and Whiskey with the Roadster Shop and Ironclad Original. If you like the show, be sure to leave us a rating and review. Make sure you go follow Del at Delmo Speed. Thanks again to our guest, Del Uschenko. We'll see you again next week.